Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Crawdads streaming network for this contest between the Walnut Creek Crawdads and the California Tigers. A non-CCL matchup today. Limoncelli, Kasey Kazliner on the call. Kasey, Crawdads went down to San Luis Obispo this weekend. They lost both games to the San Luis Obispo Blues. 1-0 on Saturday, then 9-3 yesterday. So trying to get a bounce back here against the Tigers. An independent team, play all across California, actually have a CCL win. They played against the Santa Barbara Foresters and they beat them 7-6. The Foresters, notably the best team in the CCL right now, 17-7 record. So this one should be a pretty interesting matchup, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to prove yourself, to go out and beat the best, and especially in a league you don't play in. So coming into today against the Crawdads, it's certainly one of those games for Walnut Creek where you know it doesn't count against your record, but you're coming off a 3-game losing streak, and you need something to write home about at this point if you're Walnut Creek.
Absolutely. Defensively for Walnut Creek, Max Cohen will get the start today. Last pitch against the Blues on Saturday. He went an inning, which he had no hits, recorded a strikeout. Defensively, additionally for Walnut Creek, Cam Taylor playing first base, Ryan Ellis at second, Jared Medham at short, Cam Calvillo at third, Casey Lev McGee in left, Trey Johnson in center field, and Riley Leininger making his first start in right field today. Zach Justice, the man behind the dish. So we'll get started here. Chase Christensen, the center fielder for the Tigers, the first man up, hitting from the right side. It'll be Christensen, Nate LaFell, and Dylan Drake due up here in the top of the first. The lefty Cohen from the third base side of the rubber. First pitch in there for a strike upstairs, 82 miles an hour. 4:06 local time officially for the first pitch. Cohen winds and fires the 0-1 to Christensen. Slapped foul behind him. Quickly 0-2.
Good weather today as well. We saw in slow, perfect days there, and today not much worse.
Yeah, high 70s. There was a lot of wind earlier, but it's since died down, at least over here in the press box. Cohen's 0-2 delivery to Christensen. Breaking ball upstairs. 1-2. Cohen, a Monterey Peninsula College guy, native of Alameda. Rising sophomore there. He's got a 5.62 ERA with the Crawdads this summer. As the 1-2, swing and a miss. Nasty off-speed pitch on the outer third gets the K.
Cohen struggled in some of his recent outings, so good to see him with the opening strikeout there. And again, he'll be poised to try to make a significant day after the Crawdads used most of their arms yesterday.
Yeah, prior to the Saturday appearance for Cohen, he appeared against the Legends and the Stompers, where he allowed 2 earned runs and 2 and 3 hits respectively to each of those teams. Now he'll face the lefty, Nate Leffel. First offering to him, swing and a miss. 84-mile-an-hour fastball in the upper third, 0-1. Cohen, 14 appearances this spring at Monterey Peninsula, 6.39 ERA. The lefty's 0-1 offering. Fastball outside in the right-handed batter's box, 1-1. LaFell playing first base for the Tigers today. Trying to get something going here with 1 out. The 1-1 fouled off towards the left field side, well out of play. 1-2. Cohen, 16 innings pitched this summer for Walnut Creek, 12 strikeouts, just 4 walks. Has allowed 18 hits though. Here's the 1-2. Chopped sharply on the ground to second base. Ellis collects, fields, throws in time. 2 down for Dylan Drake now, the second baseman, hitting in the 3-hole. Quick work so far, Kasey. Cohen got the strikeout and then a weak contact there. He looks good. So here's Drake. First offering to him. Swing and a miss. Curveball at 69 miles an hour drops to the knees.
A lot of drop on that one as well. Swung way under it.
Cohen shakes off one selection from Justice. Now the 0-1. Fastball outside, 1-1. The 1-1 offering to Drake. Breaking ball hits him in the square of the back. So first base runner allowed today for Walnut Creek via the hit by pitch. So now that there's one aboard, it's the 4-hole man, Connor Smith, playing catcher today for the Cal Tigers. And Casey Smith, the guy out of Santa Clara, one of the most productive bats in the Tiger order.
Yeah, leads the team in home runs.
Would love to see one here from him. First offering from Cohen, fastball on the inner third, strike one.
On that hit by pitch, just looked like Cohen lost it because Justice was setting up outside.
Yeah, the offering was a curveball, and I think it just left the hand a little early. Throw back to first, Cam Taylor making his first start at first base in quite a while. Collects, but not in time. Cohen working from the stretch for the first time today. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss. Low changeup towards the outside. Smith could not get a piece. Now it's 0-2 to the big righty. Cohen sets above the belt. The 0-2, high fly ball into shallow right field. Leininger on to make the catch. So the Crawdads strand one on the paths. Cal Tigers don't get any across here in the first inning. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Crawdads up to bat for the first time today right after this. Welcome back to the Crawdads streaming network for the bottom of the first inning. Still a scoreless between the Crawdads and the California Tigers. Trey Johnson will lead things off for Walnut Creek. After him, Jared Medham and Ryan Ellis due up in this inning. Man on the mound, Charlie Malton, a right-handed pitcher from Los Medanos College. His first offering to Johnson, driven out to deep center field. Christensen back at the track, and he puts it away. One pitch, one out from Malton, who Casey, the Crawdads have actually seen before. He played for the Stompers earlier this season, pitched against Walnut Creek on June 24th. Went 4 innings, allowed just 1 run on 3 hits.
Not too bad on a team that's kind of comprised of a lot of different guys from all different places.
So one down, no one aboard for Jared Medham, playing shortstop again today for Walnut Creek. Enters day hitting .241 in 15 games, First offering to him, fouled off in on the hands and back behind us. 0-1. Medham this weekend 1 for 8 against the Blues, had a single in the first game of the series, but otherwise struggled. Malton's 0-1 offering to the righty. Breaking ball slapped into right field for a base hit. Jared Medham waits patiently, gets the bat to the ball.
Yeah, good to see him go the other way. We know he has that ability and can really spray it.
So now there's one aboard for Ryan Ellis, starting second baseman today for Walnut Creek. Crawdads trying to put some runs on the board early here, Kasey, something they've struggled to do most of the season. Ellis went 1 for 4 yesterday against San Luis Obispo, had a single and a strikeout. Was 0 for 4 the day before. First offering to the lefty upstairs, 1-0. Malton 3 appearances for Sonoma earlier this summer, 1-1 with a 0.9 ERA, 10 innings pitched. The 1-0 from the stretch to Ellis. Breaking ball on the outer third, strike one. Ryan Ellis, the third-year Crawdad, looking for a new home in the transfer portal. Last played at UT Arlington in 2024. Lefty waves his red bat. Sets at the back of the left-handed batter's box. Met him with a healthy lead at first. The 1-1 from Malton. Swinging a line drive into left field. Just scrapes over Nava at third. So 2 straight singles for Walnut Creek. There's 2 aboard for Zach Justice in the cleanup spot.
Kind of an interesting lineup if you think about it. Having Madam and Ellis back-to-back gives you that consistent hitting, and then Justice, a guy we know has power. So we'll see how that kind of shapes out here.
Absolutely. Justice, one of the better hitters in the season, or excuse me, in the series against San Luis Obispo, was 2 for 4 on Saturday with 2 singles. Recent San Diego State commit after 2 seasons at Oregon steps in. First offering to the righty, Justice. Breaking ball upstairs, 1-0. And you mentioned Justice does have a lot of power, tied for the team lead in home runs with 2. It's also good for third in the CCL. The 1-0 to Justice. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. Justice, 9 games played for Walnut Creek this summer, hitting 188 on the season, 3 runs batted in. Working with Medham in scoring position here. 1 down in the bottom of the first. The 2-0 to Justice. Breaking ball low. 3 balls, no strikes. Malton struggling to find the strike zone right now. Malton looks to Smith. He's got an offering. Now the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4 inside. Malton, 2 singles and a walk. Bases are loaded for Cam Taylor in the 5-hole.
Little control right now for Malton, and again, after giving up those 2 hits, you thought he'd maybe attack a little bit more, try to get a punch out, but tough to see him go down 4 balls.
Absolutely. It's going to have to be a lot better here against Taylor, another big power threat in the Crawdad order. Taylor, along with Justice and John Ewens, tied for the team lead in home runs. Taylor's played in more games, though, 14. First offering to him, fastball in the dirt, 1-0. Taylor, 208 batting average this season. He's got 10 hits, 2 of them for extra bases. We're going to get a brief battery meeting. Smith's going to go and talk to Malton on the hill. This one probably about some composure, perhaps.
Yeah, just trying to settle him down. There's only 1 out, but could roll a pair. It looks like the infield not really playing double play depth, interestingly enough. The corners are back, and shortstop Fassel playing sort of towards second, but again, no real clear indication of that.
Taylor last played on Saturday against the Blues, went 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Currently a 3-game hitless streak as he takes a strike at the knees, 1-1.
I think maybe the infield is going back a little bit just because of Ellis's hit going past the third baseman's Nava's glove, and maybe if he was back, he would have made the play.
Potentially so. Either way, Malton kicks and delivers the 1-1 to Taylor. Fastball on the inner third, strike 2 called. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cam Taylor. Spent time at 3 different colleges throughout his career, but a rising junior. Thanks to taking a red shirt as a true freshman in 2023. The 1-2 to Taylor. Swinging a high fly ball in foul territory on the left side. It'll go out of play. We'll do it again, 1-2. Taylor originally went to Florence Darlington Tech as a freshman, Kasey, one of the best programs in JUCO, but didn't play there, took a medical red shirt, and in 2024 played at Andrew College, was a beast. 54 games played, 344 average, 9 homers, 12 doubles, 5 triples, good for 49 runs batted in. Taylor working with the bases loaded. 1 down in the bottom of the first. The 1-2. Swinging a high fly ball into left field. Berkovitz going back at the track, and he makes the catch. Medham's going to tag from third, Ellis tagging from second. So a sac fly RBI for Cam Taylor. The Crawdads up 1-0.
It's good base running by Medham because a lot of people probably thought that ball was going to get down, but Medham waited and got the run.
Taylor probably just another couple of feet from a grand slam there. Either way, still runners on the corners. 2 down for Cam Calvillo, the third baseman for Walnut Creek. Calvillo played yesterday against the Blues, went 1 for 4, sitting .250 on the season for the Crawdads in 10 games. Walton kicks and fires a breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 to Calvillo. Longest tenured Crawdad on the roster, Kasey, making his 4th season here in Monte Vista. The 0-1 to Calvillo, another breaking ball, grounded foul on the third base side. 0-2. Calvillo, another guy who's bounced around at a couple different colleges. Originally playing at Ohlone College, then went to Gonzaga. Played this spring at Cal State Northridge. 5'10" Castro Valley native Reddies in the batter's box. Malton, a brief glance to first. Exhales and fires the 0-2. Fastball upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Calvillo, all CCL third baseman last year for the Crawdads. It's been up and down this season. Throw back to first, not in time. Justice barely safe. Ellis at third, Justice over at first. 1-2 count to Calvillo, 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Crawdads trying to extend this early 1-0 lead. Justice goes from first. The throw is in time. Smith had him by a mile. So Calvillo will come back up to bat in the bottom of the second, but first we'll head to the top of the second inning. Cal Tigers trying to add some runs to the board, tie up this ball game right after this. Welcome back to the top of the second on the Crawdads streaming network. California Tigers up to bat, down by 1 here. Alec Nava, Tino Vassell, and Jimmy Radler, 5, 6, 7, due up for the Tigers. Max Cohen working now in his second inning. Allowed just the 1 base runner last inning to Dylan Drake on the hit by pitch. Otherwise, mighty effective. First offering to the righty Nava. Check swing, ground ball over to second. Ellis fields the throw to first in time. A nice play from Ryan Ellis.
That's a really impressive play from him. Just knowing that, he's had those knee issues and was able to range to his right and throw on the run. Really good play for the first out.
Absolutely. Cohen would have had trouble with it. Met him probably not able to get there from second. It was only Ellis, if anyone was going to make that play, and he did. So now it's the shortstop, Tino Vassell, hitting from the left side. First offering from Cohen. Fastball called strike at the letters. 0-1. .5'10" lefty kicks and deals the 0-1 offering. Curveball below the knees. 1-1. Alameda native Cohen, 19 strikeouts this spring to 15 walks with Monterey Peninsula. As there's a strike upstairs and away. 1-2. Cohen winds and fires into the opposite batter's box. Justice has to block it. 2-2. Vassell and the Tigers, like we mentioned earlier, struggling to get things going early in this one, but have flashed the capability to hang with some of the best collegiate baseball teams around, notably the Santa Barbara Foresters, as Vassell punched out there. High and tight fastball gets him.
Cohen pounding the zone a lot. Got it in a 2-ball count and is able to recover well.
Absolutely. Cohen, a guy who had a reputation for throwing lots of strikes in high school, struggled a little bit with that with Monterey Peninsula College. Had 30 hits, 15 walks this spring. First offering to Jimmy Radler, the right fielder, a liner over to Ellis, and he makes the grab. So Cohen sees 3, sends 3 down in the top of the second. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Walnut Creek trying to add to the 1-0 lead right after this. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning here on the Crawdads streaming network. Cam Calvillo will return to bat here. He ended the last half inning, or excuse me, the bottom of the first after Zach Justice was caught stealing. So it'll be Calvillo, Leininger, and DeFazio due up against Charlie Malton. In his second inning of work, allowed 1 run on 2 hits in the first, 1 left aboard.
Already some action in the Tigers bullpen as well.
First offering to Calvillo, skied into shallow left center field, down for a base hit. Drake was trying to go over there from second, Radler and Christensen crashing as well, but no one got there. So it's a leadoff single for Calvillo, and it brings up Riley Leininger, playing right field for the first time this season.
Good opposite field contactability for Calvillo, pushing it to right, and again, just his ability to spray the ball has made him a really good middle of the order piece.
Absolutely, he's been a very valuable asset for the Crawdads. So here comes Leininger, 21 games for Walnut Creek, hitting .203. He's been really up and down on the season, Casey. First offering from Malton to the lefty. Hard ground ball over to first, steps on the bag for 1, and now Calvillo in a pickle. They'll get the tag at first for the double play, a very unusual one. So I guess a 3-4 double, or 3-4-3 double play, I guess you could call it. Either way. There's 2 down for Nico DeFazio, the designated hitter. DeFazio, the Houston Christian University commit, had a monster year this spring with Chabot. First offering to the righty outside, 1-0. DeFazio, a second-year Crawdad, originally went to the University of the Pacific. Playing his first start at designated hitter, usually a shortstop or third baseman. The 1-0 to DeFazio. Breaking ball sits in the zone. 1-1. DeFazio did not appear against the Blues this weekend. Last played against the Legends last Wednesday. The 1-1 to him. Fouled back. 1-2. Malton gets a nice double play and now trying to end the inning here without much damage. Malton, the former Diablo Valley and Los Medanos man, looking in for the call. The 1-2 comes home. Swing a ground ball over to third. Nava collects the throw to first in time. So 3 faced, 3 sent down, although Calvillo did technically lead off with a single. Double play ends the hope for the Crawdads. They still lead 1-0 heading into the top of the third. We'll get that action right after this. Welcome to the top of the third on the Crawdad Streaming Network. Lucas Drake, Connor Berkovitz, and Chase Christensen due up for the California Tigers, down by 1 here to the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Max Cohen's been pretty spotless so far, just the 1 base runner allowed on the hit by pitch back in the first. Crawdad lefty turns and delivers the first offering to the DH Drake. Soft ground ball over to third base, foul. 0-1. Cohen's 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball just misses the outer third. 1 ball, 1 strike to Drake. Cohen, a low 80s fastball with changeup and a curveball as well. Swing and a miss as he features the changeup there. 1-2. 73-mile-an-hour pitch with some arm side run. Got the bite. Here's the 1-2. Cohen looking for a punch out. Swing and a miss. He gets it on another changeup.
It's now 3 Ks for Cohen, a guy who, again, was kind of eating up innings at the beginning of the year and struggled a little bit more with that, but looks like he's going to be due for a big day.
Yeah, not necessarily a strikeout artist, but he looks really good. Stuff's got bite today. So now the left fielder Connor Berkovitz in, hitting from the right side. First offering to Berkovitz, upstairs, 1-0. Tigers, an independent team, play all over California. Play teams in the Pacific Empire League, the CCL, Bay Area Collegiate League. The 1-0 as Berkovitz shows bunt, but it's outside, 2-0. Cohen kicks and deals the 2-0 offering. Fastball misses the upper part of the zone. 3 balls and no strikes. Tigers looking for their second base runner of the day here, 1 down in the top of the third. 3-0 offering from Cohen. Get me over fastball on the outer third. 3-1. Next pitch from Cohen runs outside, ball 4. So first true walk of the day. Cohen is yet to allow a hit though as the lineup turns over. Chase Christensen, the center fielder, is up. One man aboard, that's Berkovitz with a big lead over at first. Cohen stares him down. First offer from the stretch, laced into right field, down for a base hit. Leininger hits the cutoff man Ellis, but no chance to get an out. First hit of the day for the Tigers. Now there's two aboard for Nate LaFell, the first baseman. Cohen looks in, got the lefty-lefty matchup here. First pitch to LaFell. Fastball runs away. 1-0. In this spot, Kasey, you don't want to let the inning get away from you. What do you think Cohen has to do to recover?
I mean, he's not in that bad of a spot. There's nobody on third or anything. Just try to get a ground ball. They're double play depth right now.
The 1-0 swinging a high fly ball into center field. Johnson going back, turning towards the track, and he can't get there. Down for extra bases. They're waving in one runner home. Both runners are going to score as they're right behind each other. The throw well in time to get the second runner, Christensen. So it's a 1 RBI double for Nate LaFell.
And the runners were kind of stacked on top of each other. And a good play by Cam Taylor as the throw initially got kind of errant, and he came all the way from first over toward the mound.
So Taylor with some nice defense early in this one, Kasey, something that he's been a little spotty with. Either way, it's a tie ball game here, 1-1 in the top of the third. 2 down as Dylan Drake is up. Still a runner in scoring position. First offering to the lefty, breaking ball in the right-handed batter's box, 1-0. Well struck ball from LaFell, gets to deep center field, bounces at the warning track.
Looks like Johnson just couldn't find it. He was twisting and turning.
The 1-0 fastball clips the outer third, strike one. Yeah, you're right. Turned this way, that way, and ultimately thought it might have been shallower than it was. Cohen kicks and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball on the low outside corner, strike two. That was a nice pitch.
You know, it was. And Cohen's had a few of those painted outside pitches today.
Lefty has allowed one, trying to hold it there. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a high chopper to second. Ellis collects on the weird hop. Quick throw to first. They get the out. Crawdads allow one. Tie ball game headed to the bottom of the third. Crawdads trying to get the lead back right after this. Welcome to the bottom of the third on the Walnut Creek streaming network. California Tigers and the Walnut Creek Crawdads tied at 1 apiece. 9-1-2 due up as the Crawdads will take some at-bats here. Casey Levin McGee, the starting left fielder today, will lead it off. Levin McGee, a guy who's flashed the potential but has been a bit up and down, does lead the team in walks with 18, Casey, but hitting just 216 games.
He is hitting 200, but a big improvement over what we saw earlier in the year.
Absolutely. It was sub 100 for the first couple weeks of the season. First offering from him, slapped into left field, down for a base hit. Berkovitz can't get there. So that's now the fourth hit allowed by the starter Charlie Malton for the Tigers. Turns over the lineup. Trey Johnson up to bat for the second time today. Johnson had a hit yesterday, single.
Love the walk-up song.
Oh yeah, playing the Caillou theme song. Gotta love it. Trey Johnson, a guy with a big sense of humor. First offering to the lefty, passed ball. Levitt McGee's gonna take off and get to second base, no problem. It's now a runner in scoring position for Johnson. Walnut Creek native, the rising sophomore at Skyline College, hit .331 this spring with them in 41 games, 38 runs batted in. The 1-0 offering to Johnson, swinging another high fly ball into center field. Christensen gets it. Levitt McGee tagging from second, sliding into third. He's safe. So 2 deep flyouts to center field for Trey Johnson. He's been attacking up the middle.
Yeah, hasn't had quite enough power, but still good sign from him.
Absolutely. He's putting the bat to the ball a lot recently, minimizing the strikeouts. So definitely a positive development for him. Now still a runner in scoring position, 1 down for Jared Medham. And the first single of the day for Walnut Creek in the bottom of the first. Guy who's also been struggling a little bit of late. Would love a second hit today. First offering to the righty Medham. High pop up in the infield. Malton under it from the mound. Puts it away on 1 pitch. Now the Crawdads in danger of stranding Levitt McGee at third. 2 down, Ryan Ellis up to bat. Ellis singled in the first right after Medham. Medham would later come in to score on the sac fly from Cam Taylor, but Ellis was stranded. Opportunity to take the lead here early in this ballgame. Lefty Ellis steps in. Ball's been pretty good since the first inning. First offering to Ellis, breaking ball, chopped foul on the first base side. Walton has allowed just 2 base runners since the bottom of the first. 4 hits allowed on the day, just 1 run though. 6'1" righty looks in, gets the call from Smith. The 0-1 offering to Ellis. Fastball runs outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ellis, the Peoria, Arizona native. Spent a lot of time in California with St. Mary's right out of high school. 3 seasons there. Did not play much in 2 of them. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Malton blows a fastball past him. Ellis at UT Arlington, his last collegiate season where he played in 2024. 298 batting average, 30 runs driven in. Did not play this spring, dealt with some more injuries. The 1-2 from Malton. Ellis holds the bat as that breaking ball goes outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ellis hitting .224 in 16 games for the Crawdads this year. 4 extra base hits, 11 runs batted in. The 2-2 to Ellis. Fastball upstairs, full count. Malton has gone outside in the last couple of pitches. Ellis definitely a dangerous hitter, plus hit tool, has flashed the power as well. 3 doubles and a grand slam on the year. Malton's payoff. Curveball lined over to first base on the ground, and now they're going to rule it foul. Just missed at least a base hit.
Yeah, because it was hard to tell if Leffel would have touched it there. But, again, just an unlucky break.
So it'll be 3-2 once again to Ellis. Malton trying to escape the inning with no more runs allowed. His team tied it up in the last half inning, trying to keep this one close. The righty kicks and fires the 3-2, ball 4 upstairs. Ellis works a 2-out walk, runners on the corners for Zach Justice, who himself walked in his last time up. Justice, originally born and raised in Oakland, California, moved out to Bend, Oregon ahead of his junior year of high school, later became the top-ranked catching prospect in the state. Earned himself a spot with the Ducks in Eugene, but only played in 2 games for them, both of which came this spring, hit the transfer portal. Now he's a San Diego State Aztec. First offering to the righty, Justice. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Ellis had to charge back to second. Catcher Smith popped up, pump faked him a little. Justice debuting a new torpedo bat, same model as MLB infielder Jazz Chisholm. Got 2 hits with it on Saturday. The 1-0 to Justice. Fastball inside, 1-0. 85-mile-an-hour offering from Malton. Justice went and played in the Northwoods League last summer with the Kenosha Kingfish. 19 games there. The 2-0 to him. Curveball inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Justice hit .222 last summer with Kenosha. 2 extra base hits, 4 runs batted in. Here's the 3-0 from Malton. Fouled back, 3-1. Justice had the green light, liked the pitch. Justice has been much more consistent of late, has hits in 4 of his last 5 games, Kasey, after starting the year a little colder. Here's the 3-1, outside ball 4. Ellis had a healthy lead, took off, but it doesn't matter as Malton once again has walked the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, kind of a similar situation as the first inning, and see if Cam Taylor can be productive.
Was a few feet away from a grand slam last time he was up, as we were going to get a mound conference. Pitching staff for the Tigers talking to Malton and his battery mate Smith. Mentioned in his last at-bat, Taylor spent time at Andrew College in 2024, then played this spring at Eastern Kentucky, where he and the team struggled. He only appeared in 15 games there, hit .115. So he's in the transfer portal again with 2 years of eligibility, despite being 23 years of age. 6'2", 220-pound lefty steps in. Bases juiced here in the bottom of the 3rd, 2 down. First offering to Taylor, fastball down the middle, 0-1. Malton stares in, sets at the belt. The 0-1 comes home to Taylor. Breaking ball escapes the hand a little early, runs outside. 1-1. Taylor's primarily played designated hitter. Couple starts at outfield this season for Walnut Creek. A few at first base as well. Over at first again today. John Ewan's getting a rest day. The 1-1 to Taylor. Fastball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Taylor, 2021 graduate of Stevenson High School in DeKalb County. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Fastball on the inner 3rd. So now it's 2-2. Malton trying to get the punch out. Strand the bases loaded. Taylor and the Crawdads trying to take back the lead. The 2-2 from Malton. Fouled back, will do it again. Taylor stays alive. Taylor, first team All-County selection and All-County Golden Glove selection as a senior. The 2-2, chopped foul down the first base side. Big lefty refuses to quit here in this at-bat, Kasey.
Yeah, it's a tough battle in a situation where Malton's been able to get out of adversity pretty well. So with that in mind, Taylor will have to choose his pitches wisely.
Malton, the former Stomper, The 2-2 offering once again. Fastball upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Taylor.
Runners will be in motion. A gapper could very well clear the bases.
Absolutely. We know Taylor's got power. Base hit will definitely score a run or two. The payoff from Malton. Runners in motion. Ball 4. So Cam Taylor, 2 RBIs on the day. 1 with the sac fly, 1 with the walk. Crawdads retake a 2-1 lead. Base is still loaded. 2 outs, Cam Calvillo looming. And we're going to get another mound visit. Probably it for Charlie Malton.
Yeah, 3 walks in a row will do that to you. Should be the end of it.
So while we get the pitching change officially, we'll take a quick break here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. We'll have the rest of the action right after this. Welcome back to the continuation of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Crawdads up 2-1 here on the California Tigers. Pitching change. Replacing Charlie Malton is Joe Smith, the right-hander on the bump now. Bases loaded. Calvillo trying to drive in some more runs. Crawdads trying to extend the lead. Calvillo, a single back in the 2nd to lead the inning off, but was later out on the strange 3-6-3 double play. The righty's first offering to Calvillo. 84 miles an hour upstairs, 1-0.
Bit of a sidearm delivery from Smith.
We'll see how that plays in against the couple righties due up for the Crawdads. Righty kicks and deals the 1-0 to Calvillo. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the rising senior at Cal State Northridge. Calvillo, 38 games this spring for the Matadors, hit .304, 18 runs driven in. 2-0 skied into right center field. Radler calls for it from right and puts it away. So the Crawdads strand 3 more. They do get 1 across to take the lead, but we'll head to the top of the 4th. Tigers trying to retie it right after this. Welcome to the top of the fourth on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Cal Tigers up to bat, down by 1. It'll be 4-5-6, due up Connor Smith, Alec Nava, Tino Vassell, facing Max Cohen yet again in his 4th inning of work. Crawdad starter has been pretty efficient. Just 2 hits allowed all day, 3 strikeouts. First offering to Smith, grounded to short. Met him, bobbles it. Doesn't quite strike the glove in the correct manner. So an E6 allows Smith to be the leadoff man aboard.
Looked like Madam was being maybe a little bit too nonchalant with the glove there, and it popped out.
So now 1 on for Nava, the third baseman. Grounded into second base his last time up. Cohen back in the stretch. First offering to Nava, slapped the other way, foul. 10 feet from the right field line. Cohen looks in, gets the call from Justice. Smith with a good lead at first, the 0-1. 80-mile-an-hour fastball runs upstairs. 1-1 to Nava.
Infield very much double play depth.
1-1. Skied the other way yet again and in foul territory. So it's 1-2 on the righty third baseman Nava.
Interestingly enough, lining her way in on the right side, even though it is a righty hitter.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out, as this one grounded over to second. Ellis, throw to second base, offline, as Medham gets ran into. Smith stays over at second base, so 2 consecutive errors allow 2 base runners for the Tigers.
Ellis was so good defensively earlier in the game, and with the error there, tough spot for the Crawdads infield.
So now it looks like Charlie Malton, who just came off the mound, is in to bat for Tino Vassell. Malton, a righty hitter, played third and short at Los Medanos, grounds one over to short. Medham collects the throw to first, not in time, an infield single, everybody's safe. Action in the Crawdad bullpen. Colin Nowacek is up, as well as Jojo Salazar. So now with the bases loaded and no one out in the top of the fourth, it's Jimmy Radler, the right fielder. Lined out to second base his last at-bat. Cohen in his first real trouble of the day.
Yeah, and 2 of these runners shouldn't have gotten there. But again, the Crawdads need to make a play and might look home. Corners are in.
First offering skied into center field. Johnson is there. Runner tagging from third. He'll come home safely. So Smith reaches on the air, scores on the sac fly from Radler.
And this inning should be over at this point, and that's out number 4.
Indeed it should be, but instead it's a 2-2 ball game with just 1 out in the top of the fourth. Lucas Drake, the designated hitter, working with 2 on, 1 in scoring position.
Looks like Jared Medham given a warning.
Yeah, perhaps some jawing with the opposing players or the umpires.
I don't think Medham was happy that the player earlier slid into him.
Yeah, Smith decked him, quite frankly, ran into his legs. Either way, the first offering to Drake, bounce in front of the plate, and not a foul ball. Throw to third for one, the throw to first for the other. A 2-5-3 double play. The Crawdads end the inning after allowing 1 unearned. A couple errors and then the base hit. So we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Crawdads trying to retake the lead once again right after this. Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth. Crawdads tied at 2 against the California Tigers. 7, 8, 9 due up. Riley Leininger, Nico DeFazio, Casey Levin-McGee against the pitcher Carter Miles on the hill for the Tigers. Miles, 2025 graduate of Chico High School, is going to head to Sac City College, play his first year of collegiate baseball. Righty got out of the inning. Calvillo flied up to right with the bases loaded after he relieved Malton. Speaking of which, Malton now at first, LaFell goes to second, Drake over at shortstop. Vassell out of the lineup now. So the lefty Leininger steps in, had a hard hit ground ball in the second, which ended up being a double play. First offering to him, outside 1-0, as the former first baseman LaFell had a nice snag at the bag and turned a double play. The 1-0 on the outer third, strike one to Leininger. 1-1, the first time right fielder this season. 1-1 from Miles. Fastball at the knees, strike two. Leininger hits the ball pretty hard, Casey. We saw yesterday he just missed a home run in San Luis Obispo. It was just foul. Wind kind of blew it out there. Here's the 1-2 to Leininger. Ground ball over to third. Nava collects the throw to Malton at first in time. So one down in the bottom of the fourth. Brings up Nico DeFazio, the designated hitter for the Crawdads.
Nava's been really impressive over at third. The few looks he's had. Don't want to hit it over there.
Yeah, the arm has been good. The range has been pretty decent. Ground balls have gone to die over at his side of the field. DeFazio 0 for 1 with a ground ball today. And he gets plunked on the first pitch. Miles had an off-speed offering run outside, or inside I should say, left the hand early. It's now hit by pitches for both teams. Crawdads with their first base runner in the inning. Casey Levin-McGee up. He's 1 for 1 with a deep single into left center field. Levin-McGee, the former Laney College man, hit .397 as a freshman there, then .385 this spring, earned himself a spot at Cal State Bakersfield. 35 runs batted in as a freshman, 36 as a sophomore. First offering to the lefty outside. 83-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Levitt-McGee. Went 0 for 3 on Saturday against the Blues with a strikeout. Working with DeFazio at first. The 1-0 to Levitt-McGee. Slap for a base hit through the first and second gap. And that one escapes from Radler. Both runners advancing. The throw not in time. It gets away from Drake, covering the bag at second. So a single and an error, and there are 2 in scoring position for Trey Johnson at the top of the lineup.
A good advance there for Levitt-McGee. Tag never fully got there. Ball pounced out, and good job for DeFazio as well. Had a big lead over at first.
Good base running for Walnut Creek, capitalizing on the defensive mistakes, which there have been plenty of in pretty much both on both sides today. Trey Johnson, 2 deep flyouts to center field today. He's attacked early in counts. First offering from Miles, fastball outside at 85 miles an hour. So 2 in scoring position, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Johnson trying to knock some in. Joey Donnelly will be pinch hitting for Jared Medham in the next at-bat. The 1-0 to Johnson, high fly ball into shallow right field. LaFell over from second, puts it away. So 2 down, 2 aboard still, both in scoring position for Joey Donnelly. Perhaps one of the best hitters in the Crawdad order. Donnelly initially got the day off, but now head coach Brent Cummings wants him to hit in place of Medham. Donnelly, one of the best hitters in the CCL, hitting .415 on the season, third in the league in batting average, tied for fourth in runs batted in with 19. Both of which. Excuse me, go ahead.
Wonder if it has to do with maybe Medham chirping over at shortstop. Had that warning.
Definitely something I'd wonder as well. We'll have to talk to Coach Cummings after the game. Miles kicks and fires the first offering to Donnelly. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Donnelly, 4 years with the Cal Golden Bears. He played in just 20 games, transferred as a graduate. Now he's headed to Fordham in the Bronx, one of the most storied college baseball programs around. The 1-0 to the lefty, Donnelly. Sharp ground ball over to second. LaFell collects, has a bit of trouble with it, but he gets the out. So no runs on one hit for Walnut Creek. Still a tie ball game as we head to the top of the fifth. Welcome to the top of the fifth here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. New pitcher for Walnut Creek, JoJo Salazar, a Laney College man, making his debut. He's going to be up for at least today, eat a couple innings in the non-league game for Walnut Creek. Salazar, local guy, went to Skyline High School. 19 appearances at Laney College this spring, 1-1, 2 saves. Familiar with Crawdad pitching coach Dustin Cheney. His first offering to the leadoff man, Berkovitz, outside, 1-0. So it'll be 9-1-2, Berkovitz, Christensen, LaFell for the Tigers. The 1-0 from Salazar, fastball upstairs, 81 miles an hour, 2-0.
Crawdads going from lefty to lefty. Wonder if that was part of the game plan to get those guys settled in.
The 2-0 from Salazar. 83-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer third. 2 balls and 1 strike to Berkovitz. Defensive changes. Joey Donnelly, pinch hit, recorded the last out last inning, is playing right field now. Riley Leininger moves to shortstop. 2-1 curveball outside. So it's 3-1 now on Berkovitz. Still a tie ball game here. Tigers trying to get some guys aboard and drive them in. Here's the 3-1. Ball 4 on a fastball outside. So there's one aboard for the leadoff man for the Tigers. Chase Christensen, left fielder, is 1 for 2 today. Had a single in the third. Was driven in later on the RBI double from Nate LaFell, or excuse me, was called out at the plate on the tag. Berkovitz scored. First offering to Christensen, slapped foul on the right side. 0-1. Also in the pen today for Walnut Creek, Joe Coupland and Braden Barnes. But Salazar scheduled to pitch at least a couple innings. 26 and a third innings pitched this season at Laney. 7.52 ERA for Salazar. The 0-1 to Christensen. Deep drive into left center field. Levitt McGee over, and he just misses. Hit the glove and bounces away. Leading runner Berkovitz stops at third. Christensen into second. Hard hit ball, but probably an error?
Yeah, I mean, Levitt McGee overran that one and just couldn't stop his momentum. Just kept running, and his body took too much force.
It's now 2 in scoring position for Nate LaFell. Had that RBI double back in the third inning, a guy who's already flashed that he can drive in runs. But a lefty-lefty matchup, Salazar could use that to his advantage, trying to get the first out here in the fifth. First pitch, fastball in the dirt. 1-0 to LaFell. Salazar kicks and delivers. LaFell fouls it off on the ground into the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Crawdads infield way in, maybe a little bit of a risky move. Because a hard hit ground ball could maybe score in 2 if it's hit hard enough.
Potentially so. LaFell trying to put it in play and makes some magic like that happen. The 1-1 from Salazar. Swinging a ground ball over to second. Ellis staring down the runner at third. Trying to get an out there. He'll tag for 1. As Christensen was well on his way to third.
Funny enough, Ellis tagged him without the ball. The ball was in his palm, and he tagged him with the glove.
So now runners on the corners and 1 down off the fielder's choice. LaFell safe at first. Dylan Drake, the second baseman, 0 for 1 today. Hit by a pitch in the first. Grounded to end the third inning. Crawdad infield at double play depth now. Salazar's first delivery, fastball just misses the inner third. 1-0 on Dylan Drake, who has since moved to shortstop. Salazar fakes a pickoff. He holds the ball in his left hand. But either way, LaFell dives into first thinking he might have been picked.
Going back to Christensen, that's not the first time he's made a questionable running decision.
Indeed it is not. Like I mentioned earlier, he was called out at home on that RBI double from LaFell. As the 1-0 offering is upstairs. 2-0 to Drake.
I don't really understand why he was running there. There's really no point.
Especially when Ellis stared him down. Caught in a bit of a pickle.
And knowing the runner at third wasn't going to go.
2-0. Driven into deep left field, foul. He was ranging over, but fair ball, probably has extra bases there. Instead, it's a 2-1 count to Drake. Left-handed shortstop working with runners on the corners, 1 down in the top of the 5th. Salazar's spent the most of summer off, last played against Folsom Lake on May 3rd. As the 2-1 goes for a strike, 82-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. 2-2 to Drake. Salazar and the Crawdads would love a soft ground ball to one of the middle infielders. Runners likely going here on the 2-2. Salazar staring down over at first. The 2-2 offering driven high in the air, deep center field. Johnson going back at the track. He doesn't have a chance. That's a 3-run shot for Dylan Drake. And the Tigers lead 5-2. Hanging curveball demolished to straightaway center.
Yeah, it's tough when your fastball is sitting in low 80s, and again, had to hang one there, I guess, and just turned on it, and it's a tough spot. Salazar has not really been able to, find some deceptive pitches yet.
Absolutely not. Still heart of the order due up for the Tigers. Only 1 out in the top of the 5th. Crawdads have some work to do to get out of this one. Connor Smith up to bat now. 0 for 2 today. Reached on an error back in the 6th.
And I believe Drake is the only earned runner on that play there.
First offering driven into shallow right center field for a base hit. Salazar continuing to struggle. No action yet in the Crawdad bullpen. Looks like Coupland is stretching, though. 1 down, 1 on for Alec Nava, the third baseman. Salazar's first offering to Nava. 77-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Nava also 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 4th. Had a ground ball before that. Here's the 1-0. Line drive into right center field, a base hit for Nava. That one extra bases as well. Nava turning, gets to second. Smith in safely at third. A big double, and there are 2 runners in scoring position, still only 1 out. Charlie Malton, the first baseman, formerly the pitcher, now up.
Really surprised there's no one warming up for the Crawdads a few batters ago.
Yeah. Now Coupland in the early stages of his warm-up, throwing a ball into the screen out in the Crawdad bullpen. He'll probably start throwing live pitches soon. Another righty for Salazar to face here in Malton. First offering to him, swing and a miss. 77-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch gets a bite. Malton, Radler due up. Tigers trying to extend this newfound 3-run lead. Salazar kicks and fires the 0-1. Fastball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Charlie Malton. Here's the 1-1 now from Salazar. Soft ground ball over to Calvillo at third. Throw to first in time.
Was that cam-to-cam connection?
Indeed it was. Taylor does a nice job fielding. So now there's 2 down, Jimmy Radler up. Still 2 in scoring position. Radler would love to drive in some more runs for the Tigers. Salazar and the Crawdads trying to stop that from happening. 4 runs combined the last 2 innings for the Tigers. First offering, a nice curveball sits in the zone. 0-1 on Radler. Matter of fact, actually, it's 5 runs in the last 3 innings for the Tigers as the offense coming alive. The 0-1 from Salazar. Swing and a miss. Got a bite on the low away changeup. 0-2 on Radler. Salazar trying to get the punch out. Get out of this disastrous inning for the Crawdads. Salazar sets at the belt. The 0-2. Fouled back. We'll do it again. That ball sticks in the fence. Hard hit.
I don't know what the odds of that are.
Not something we've seen before this season, at least. Still 0-2 to Radler. Lefty Salazar kicks and deals. Another foul ball into the nearby batting cages. Still 0-2. Salazar looks to Justice for the pitch selection. He's got it now. The 0-2 comes home. Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs. Radler waves under it. So we'll head to the bottom of the fifth, but not before the Tigers take the lead thanks to the 3-run jack from Dylan Drake. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Danville. Crawdads allowed 3 last half inning. They've allowed 5 runs in the last 3 innings, and they trail 5-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Trying to go back to work against the left-hander, Carter Miles, who stays on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Ryan Ellis, Zach Justice, and Cam Taylor will hit. It's 3-4-5 for Walnut Creek. Ellis standing in, the lefty hitter against the lefty pitcher. Ellis 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. So he takes outside, ball 1. A little bit of wind here in Danville. Hasn't affected the ball much. Crawdads with 5 hits and 2 runs. 1-0 on Ellis as Miles begins his slow windup. Fastball taken low. 2-0 on the man who originally played at St. Mary's. Has dealt with some injuries and eventually ended up at UT Arlington. The 2-0 from the windup. Miles fires, fouled off to the left side. 2-1. It's a non-league matchup for Walnut Creek, trying to get some extra work in after the big trip down south to San Luis Obispo. The Crawdads have lost 3 straight, Menlo Park and twice to the Blues. Miles checks in for the sign. Right-hander begins his windup, the 2-1. Skied foul territory on the left side will go out of play. Brings the count even at 2-2. Crawdads scored 2 runs in the 1st and 3rd innings combined. That's all they've been able to get. Neither RBIs came off hits. The offense has dried up for this team as of late. So we saw in San Luis Obispo as well. Ellis waits on the 2-2 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. And it runs inside. 75-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. Count goes full at 3-2. Ellis trying to improve his numbers. Started out really well for the Crawdads, including hitting a grand slam. Has died down a little bit. The payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Fastball upstairs and away as Ellis takes, and it's a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 5th for the Crawdads. So that's Ellis' 2nd walk and 3rd time on base as he's been productive today. And that'll bring up the catcher, Zach Justice. He's also walked a few times. To be exact, twice, as the righty hitter digs in. The man on first and nobody out. Carter Miles trying to limit the damage. First offering plunks his backside as he turns on it. And it's back-to-back free passes to start the bottom of the fifth as Justice will go to first. And by default, Ellis will go to second. That'll bring up Cam Taylor with 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. The lefty hitter could potentially tie this game with 1 swing. We saw a 3-run home run last inning from these Tigers. The Crawdads looking to add on themselves, down 3. Some action going on, a right-hander up and warming in the Tigers bullpen. Crawdads have Joe Coupland up in their bullpen. As lefty hitter Cam Taylor digs in with 2 on and nobody out. First offering way outside. Fastball in the opposite batter's box. 1-0. Cam Taylor, not an everyday player for the Crawdads, but he's been solid when he's been in. Has had some significant power this year. Had 2 hits against the Legends 2 appearances ago, both doubles. Trying to get back on the horse. The 1-0 pitch. Away again, high fastball. 2-0 on Taylor. With runners on first and second and nobody out in the bottom of the fifth. Tigers with 6 hits, Crawdads with 5. But the big one was the 3-run homer last inning from Dylan Drake. Both runners go. The 2-0. Runner safe at third. The throw is high. And it's a double steal for the Crawdads. And the count on Taylor will be 3-0 as Miles right now can just not throw strikes. So it's a 2-1 count rather on Taylor. Runners on second and third. The pitch low in the zone, taken again. 3-1. Taylor is responsible for both the Crawdads' RBIs. Sacrifice fly in the first, RBI walk in the third. The 3-1. That one runs inside. Ball 4, not close. Taylor walks on the low and inside walk. That'll load the bases off 3 free passes to start the bottom of the fifth, and that'll warrant a mound visit. As Cam Calvillo will hit next, likely a pitching change, with the Crawdads in dangerous position to tie and potentially take the lead if they can keep going. Still nobody out here in the inning as Carter Miles struggling with command, and it looks like they're debating whether or not they're going to look to the bullpen. Miles didn't do terribly last inning, but has struggled here. And it looks like they'll keep Carter Miles in the game for the time being. Committed to, out of Chico. To recap the inning so far, Ryan Ellis walked, Justice hit by a pitch, both of which stole second and third, respectively. And then Cam Taylor walked. So it's the bases loaded for Cam Calvillo. He singled and flied out to right as he'll try to drive in some runs as the Crawdads trail by 3. From the stretch, Miles dishes a ball inside, 1-0 on Calvillo, who played his college ball most recently at Cal State Northridge. Played at a few different programs and has been a longtime member of these Crawdads. He'll wait on the 1-0, righty hitter, righty pitcher. As the 1-0 is popped up, middle of the infield, now in shallow center field. It'll be the second baseman, LaFell, to make the catch. And there's one away as all runners stay put. So bases still loaded for Riley Leininger, who started the game in right field and then moved to short after a series of substitutions. He's 0 for 2. He's hit the ball on the ground twice, once into a double play, and once over to third. Bases loaded, 1 out. Lefty hitter Leininger at the plate. Miles from the stretch delivers home, and that one laced to the right side on the ground. So second for 1, back over to first. And it's not in time as the throw was very loopy over to first, and the run comes in to score. So it's 5-3 Tigers. So it's an RBI fielder's choice for Riley Leininger. Crawdads allow Ryan Ellis to come and score, and now it's runners on the corners as Cam Taylor out at second. So that'll bring up Nico DeFazio, righty hitter. 0 for 1 with a ground out and a hit by pitch. Trying to do some more. And the first offering behind him. Breaking ball just barely misses him. 1-0.
Miles continuing to struggle and throw strikes, Casey's been lucky to get the couple outs that he's got.
Pitching has not been the strongest on either side these past few innings. This game has taken a more run-heavy turn. The 1-0 is outside, taken low by DeFazio as well. Count at 2-0 on the man who was a late addition to the roster. Has played with the Crawdads before. Trying to get them back in this game. 5-3 ball game. Runners on the corners. 2 out, 2-0. 3-0 after a pitch in the dirt. Bounces near the plate. DeFazio takes. He's in the designated hitter spot today. Normally fields on the left side of the infield. So we'll see if he takes all the way here on a 3-0 count. 2 outs. The pitch in there for a strike. Miles says, get me over, and he gets one. 3-1 at the dish to DeFazio. There's now 3 errors in the game for the Crawdads, 1 for the Tigers. In a defensive lackluster game as the 3-1 runs inside and hits him right in the same spot where Zach Justice was hit. And that'll load the bases again as Leininger will go to second, DeFazio over to first. Still with 2 outs and Levitt McGee due up.
Second hit by pitch of the day for DeFazio. He cannot be happy with the Tigers pitching staff, and frankly, it's been Miles both times.
Miles struggling with command as that'll bring up the 9-hole Casey Levitt McGee. He's had a good ball game so far. 2 singles and a run scored. As the bases are loaded, a single could potentially tie this ball game. Crawdads came in this inning with a 3-run deficit, got 1 so far. Bases loaded for the lefty hitter Levitt McGee as he takes outside ball 1 on the breaking ball. Miles came in for Charlie Malton as it looks like another mound visit coming, and it looks like it'll be a call to the bullpen. Daryl Johnson will be the new pitcher, but while he warms up, we'll take a quick break. Bases loaded, Crawdads threatening, down 5-3 here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
1.
Welcome back to Danville here in the bottom of the 5th. Crawdads threatening with the bases loaded, 2 outs as Casey Levitt McGee stands in, trying to add on to his great day as the new pitcher is Daryl Johnson. He'll face the lefty hitter Levitt McGee with a 1-0 count already on McGee. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the inning. Crawdads down by 2 and threatening right now. Came into this inning with a 5-2 deficit, got 1 so far as Carter Miles' 2-inning outing is done. Johnson comes set, already with a 1-0 count on McGee that he inherits. First offering from him is lined out to deep left center field. That one gonna drop, and it's gonna get all the way to the wall as the diving Christensen couldn't find it. 1 run scores. Here comes another, and it's a bases clearing triple for Casey Levitt McGee. The throw actually got away, but he'll stay at third. And that's a huge knock for Casey Levitt McGee. And just like that, the Crawdads lead 6-5 after coming into this inning down by 3.
What a momentum swing for Walnut Creek. And Casey Levitt McGee, have yourself a day, sir. He has been excellent. That's exactly what he needs on the season, Casey. A get-right game to carry some momentum into this week. A tough slate, Walnut Creek, with the rest of this week.
3 hits for Levitt McGee, now 3 RBIs as well, as that brings up Trey Johnson with a runner on third and 2 outs. Crawdads lead 6-5 here in the bottom of the 5th. First offering to him, taken for a strike. Fastball on the outer corner from Daryl Johnson, 0-1. Johnson versus Johnson. Righty pitcher, lefty hitter. Trey back in the leadoff spot for another game after he floated toward the bottom of the order. The 0-1 in the dirt, taken for a ball, 1-1. Johnson yesterday, 1 for 4, also scored a run in a tough 9-3 loss to the Slow Blues, where the Crawdads got swept. The breath, the stretch, and the fire from Johnson, taken for strike 2. 1-2 on Trey. In his first year with the Crawdads out of Berkeley High. One of a handful of East Bay natives on this Crawdads team that like to stay local. Levitt McGee looming at third. Donnelly would hit next. The 1-2 from Daryl Johnson is lined straight to short in the glove of Drake, but it hit the ground first. He throws to first, and it's not going to get there as it bounces out of Malton's glove, and Levitt McGee is in on the error. Now 7-5 Walnut Creek.
Good hustle from Trey Johnson. Plays never over. Really legs one out and relies on Drake to make an error, and he does.
That's now 5 combined errors between both teams. And that brings up Joey Donnelly, who's the 9th hitter of the inning for Walnut Creek in this 5-run explosion in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 7-5. Trey Johnson over at first. Daryl Johnson looking in for the sign on the lefty hitter Joey Donnelly, who came in as a pinch hitter and grounded out in his only time up. Runner goes, the first offering low, the throw offline. Johnson in with a stolen base. That's his 6th of the year, and it's a runner at second and a 1-0 count on Joey Donnelly. He knew the legs would be in motion. Trey Johnson with plenty of speed over there on the pads. Another runner in scoring position for the Crawdads. Donnelly took that pitch. It's 1-0. Donnelly maybe cooled down a little bit as of late, but still one of the best hitters in the CCL. Hitting over 400. The 1-0. Fastball in the dirt, taken for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes on the man formerly from Cal. Now we'll play at Fordham. Hasn't had his OPS under 1,000 since the very beginning of the season. Season a hitter's count with 2 away and a man on second. It's the Crawdads up 7-5 in this high-scoring game. The 2-0. Lined back and foul to the screen. 2-1. If Donnelly can get on, the Crawdads would have batted around as Ryan Ellis would be next. He walked and scored after leading off the inning. 2-1 on Donnelly as he takes a practice hack. His gray batting gloves. Daryl Johnson readies with Trey Johnson on second. The 2-1 outside fastball, 87 miles an hour. 3 balls, 1 strike on Joey Donnelly, who would love to swing the bat right now. Hasn't seen a lot of pitches straight to him lately. In slow, struggled against not having a lot of pitches in the zone he could hack at. So he waits on a 3-1. Crawdads lead 7-5. The 3-1 offering fouled right behind us over the screen. Count runs full at 3-2. Crawdads in their black uniforms, white pants. Tigers in orange and blue, just like the Detroit Tigers. California Tigers logo reminiscent of the California Angels logo without the halo. It'll be a payoff pitch. Johnson over at second. Here's it from Johnson again. And that one line to the right side will squeak through the infield for a base hit. Trey's rounding third. He's going to get there without a throw. And it's an RBI single for Joey Donnelly. Crawdads lead 8-5. So the Crawdads have batted around in this inning. I've been very fortunate to have reached on 4 free passes and then an error and now 2 hits. So that'll bring up Ryan Ellis, who's been on base 3 times, including once in this inning, with Joey Donnelly over at first and 2 away.
Really nice rally from the Crawdads, Casey. They're just putting the bat to the ball, taking what they can get, and being patient. It's paid off.
Ryan Ellis, 2 walks and a single. His lefty hitter digs in once more. Donnelly over at first. Darryl Johnson fires home. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 on Ryan Ellis. Been an efficient day for him so far. He's 1 for 1. Currently in the transfer portal. One of about 3 or 4 Crawdads still searching for a new home to play this upcoming season. Saw some recent commitments. Aiden White. The 0-1. Fastball in the inner corner for a strike. 0-2 quickly on Ellis. Crawdads have had some recent guys commit. Aiden White over at Amarillo College in Texas. Of course, last week saw Joey Donnelly return and make his announcement as well as he looms over at first. 0-2 at the dish to Ellis. Johnson comes set now, kicks and fires the 0-2. Fastball low and away, taken for ball 1. 1-2. Thousands of players across the country have entered the transfer portal, and Crawdads no stranger to that across the board. A lot of guys finding new places, but a handful of which staying at their own schools that they've started at as well. 1-2, Donnelly at first. High off-speed pitch taken for ball 2. 2-2 on Ellis. He's already walked twice today. Had that single back in the first, where the Crawdads were able to score 1 run. But it's since been a 6-run inning for Walnut Creek after giving up 3 last half inning. They currently lead 8-5 after only scoring 3 combined runs in San Luis Obispo across 2 games. Johnson set now, fires the 2-2, and swing and a miss, got him. That'll finally end the inning. 10 guys come up. Crawdads able to put up 6 on the board. They lead 8-5. We'll go to the top of the 6th here in Danville. Joe Salazar still on the hill for the Crawdads as they lead 8-5 here to start the top of the 6th inning. They scored 6 runs last half, and they want to try to add on to that. But before, they'll play defense against a hungry Tigers team that scored 5 runs, all of their runs in the last 3 innings. Salazar still on the hill. He'll face 8-9-1, starting with Lucas Drake, and that one plunks Drake on the first offering. Another hit by pitch. Wow, we've seen a handful of those today.
Indeed, we have, Casey. Pitchers have been pretty wild in this one. Not a ton of control.
So Lucas Drake over at first. And that'll bring up Connor Berkovitz. He's walked twice. He's scored twice. The man over at first. Salazar back to the stretch where he pitched most of the time last inning. First offering in there for a strike. Off speed, 0-1. Salazar out of Laney College. Crawdads have seen a fair share of Laney guys suit up, including Casey Levitt-McGee. Drake looms at first. The 0-1 hit right back to the pitcher off the legs of Salazar, and it's going to trickle through the left side. Everybody's safe as that one originally hit off of Salazar, the pitcher, and went toward Leininger at short. And it'll be a single. Now runners at first and second with nobody out.
Eerily similar to how the last one started, Casey, although it was a walk and then an error. Still, 2 runners on in the first 2 hitters. Salazar got to be careful not repeat last inning.
Lineup turns over to Chase Christensen with 2 on and nobody out. Each team now with 7 hits. Crawdads, of course, with the 8-5 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Christensen, 1 for 3. Single, reached on an error and struck out. Righty hitter, lefty pitcher. As he swings at the first pitch and lines it foul on a play on the right side. 0-1. Salazar has struggled to record outs so far. Got out of the last inning, but it took him quite a while as California was able to nearly bat around. 1-1 at the dish. Lefty hitter, righty pitcher. Other way around. So the pitch is in the dirt. 1-1. Christensen, the leadoff man, set the table somewhat well. He plays for Compsonus River College, where he's hit .322 lifetime for them. The 1-1, line the other way out to right field. Long run for Donnelly. It'll drop in fair territory. Runners will each take 1 bag as that loads the bases. And the outing for Salazar just continuing to be mired in inconsistency.
Yeah, leaving stuff over the plate, Casey, it makes it really easy for these Tigers hitters to put it in play. And unfortunately, he's not been able to get much swing and miss.
That'll bring up Nate Leffel. The bases loaded and nobody out. Lefty hitter doubled back in the 3rd, drove in 1. Also hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out. Bases loaded for the lefty hitter. First offering in there for a strike, 75-mile-an-hour curveball. 0-1. Dylan Drake would hit next, the guy that hit the big fly last inning. As a knock could completely change this game again. Crawdads with the 8-5 lead, but bases loaded for the Tigers. The 0-1. That one roped out to left center field, drops in for a base hit. Johnson picks it up, 1 run scores. Everyone else holds up, and it's an RBI single for Nate Leffel, and it's now 8-6. So some action in the Crawdads bullpen with Joe Coupland throwing, but no indication that Salazar will come out yet. Bases still loaded, nobody out. 8-6 ball game as a base hit could tie up this game again. So that'll bring up Dylan Drake, who hit the home run. First offering lined back and foul. 0-1.
You can tell Drake wants another one. He took a big hack at that fastball.
Three on and field in for the Crawdads. Likely trying to get the out of the plate to prevent this game from going south again. The 0-1. High breaking ball taken for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leffel over at first, Christensen at second, and Berkovitz over at third in this 8-6 ball game where Joe Salazar, making his Crawdads debut, has really struggled. The 1-1 from the stretch. Curveball in there for a strike. Drapes in the bottom part of the zone, 1-2. Dylan Drake wearing a different colored helmet. It's a Sacramento City College helmet, in fact, that maroon color. The 1-2. That one runs inside. Curveball nearly hit him as he turns out of the way, but it's taken for a ball regardless. 2-2. That's now 9 hits for the visitors. The Tigers out hitting the Crawdads 9-7, but still trail 8-6. See if Drake can change that. Lefty on lefty. The 2-2 outside off the glove of Clisby, but he blocks it down in front of him. All the runners hold up. Now 3-2. Drake started this game at second base, then moved to shortstop as the Tigers made some early changes. Bases loaded. Still nobody out. A dangerous spot for Salazar. He agrees to the sign. The payoff pitch is hammered to left center field. That one's going to drop in the warning track. Gets all the way to the wall. Run scores. Another one's around. Here comes the third. The throw from Leininger to the plate is in time, but not able to make the tag, Clisby. And it's a bases clearing double for Dylan Drake. And that's now 6 RBIs on the day for the shortstop. And there's still nobody out as they now lead 9-8, the Tigers do. This outing has gone from bad to worse for Salazar. Not all of his runs are earned runs, but he's given up 7 in the last 2 innings. As head coach Brant Cummings will make his way to the mound. Likely to put in Joe Coupland, the righty. A debut to forget for Joe Salazar. So he'll head to the dugout after going an inning plus of work. But we'll take a quick break before the pitching change. Crawdads trail 9-8 here in Danville. Welcome back to Danville in the top of the 6th. 9-8 ball game in favor of the Tigers, who just hit their 10th hit of the ball game. The new pitcher for the Crawdads is the righty Joe Coupland, who's a two-way guy. Normally plays behind the dish and designated hitter, but he's on the hill trying to get out of this 6th inning. Nobody out as former pitcher Salazar left a guy on second, and that's Dylan Drake, who just hit a bases clearing double to make it 9-8. So that'll bring up Connor Smith. He has 1 hit and 3 tries, also reached on an error and scored. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Big lead over at second for Drake. The first offering from Coupland runs outside. 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball. 1-0. Every single guy that's come up in this inning either hit by a pitch or gotten a knock. They keep piling on. The 1-0 line straight back and foul. 1-0. Excuse me, 1-1. It's been a back and forth game. Saw the Crawdads score 6 last inning, but in the last 2 frames combined, the Tigers have scored 7. And they've scored all 9 of their runs in the last 4 frames. Coupland looks over at second. The 1-1. As that one's hit high and deep out to left field. Levitt McGee going back, and it's gone. A 2-run jack for Connor Smith as he leaves the yard to left field. And it's a 2-run blast to make it 11-8, and it's the second home run of the ball game for the Cal Tigers. That's now 5 hits in a row by the Tigers. Back-to-back extra base hits, and they keep piling on here in Danville. McGee trying to leap forward and left, but all he could do was watch. Now 11 hits, 11 runs for this fire-powering Tigers offense as Joe Coupland back to the windup. First offering in there for a strike on Alec Nava. 0-1 on him. He had an extra base hit last inning, as the Tigers have now scored 9 runs in the last 2 frames. Righty hitter, righty pitcher, the 0-1. Fastball outside corner, quick 0-2 as that one's called a strike. Nava gets ready again. Plays his ball over at San Joaquin Delta College. The 0-2 lined foul, straight back. Count remains at 0-2. Crawdads coming off series that didn't see too much offense against Slow, at least in the first game. Now tons of it here in a non-league game. 0-2 at the dish. That one's chopped sharply over to short. Lining her gloves, throws to first. And a nice pick over at first by Taylor for the out. And there's finally one away.
Really great effort from Cam Taylor. The throw from Leininger had power, but bounced 5 feet in front of him. So Taylor, who's been a little bit of a question mark defensively at first, makes a really nice effort there.
I'll bring up Charlie Malton. Started this game at pitcher. And showing his two-way ability, came in over at first base. So he's hitting for the 3rd time today. He's 1 for 2. Nobody on, 1 out as Coupland delivers breaking ball in there for a strike, going 1. Malton previously of another team that wears orange and blue, the Sonoma Stompers. Now with the Cal Tigers, a team that's a little bit nomadic. The 0-1. Fastball, low part of the zone, called a strike, 0-2. As the Tigers dug out Jeers at the low pitch in the zone. 1 out in the inning, already 6 across in this frame for California. They lead 11-8. Still a lot of baseball left to be played. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Coupland got him on the outside and low breaking ball, and there's 2 away. So the 9th batter to come up in this inning is Jimmy Radler. Righty hitter playing right field today. He's hitless so far, did have a sac fly back in the 4th. Scored in that lone run of the inning. Coupland tries to get out of this one. First offering, swing and a miss. Goes back to the breaking ball in the outside corner that he struck out Malton with, and it's 0-1. Coupland checks in on the sign on the catcher Clisby. 2 guys that grew up right here in Danville. The 0-1. Low pitch taken for ball 1, 1-1. Crawdads will be back in action tomorrow on the road against Menlo Park, a team they've yet to beat this year. Coupland comes set from the windup, now kicks and deals the 1-1. That one hit sharply over to third. Wilson picks it up, takes 2 steps toward first, and gets it there in time. And the side is finally retired. 6 runs in the inning as the Cal Tigers take the 11-8 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Crawdads with some work to do. Welcome back to the heart of Danville here at Monte Vista, as the Crawdads trail 11-8 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as they had some changes on defense last inning. Leading off now will be Brandon Clisby, who comes in for Zach Justice. This spot in the order, the cleanup spot. He's been walked twice today and hit by a pitch once. So Clisby trying to keep up the production after Justice takes a seat on the bench. Daryl Johnson still in at pitcher. Righty on righty matchup as Clisby tries to get the Crawdads back in this game. They trail 11-8. First offering, fastball in the dirt, taken for a ball, 1-0. Clisby's been very consistent for the Crawdads this season on an 8-game on-base streak. Has hits in all but 3 games this year. Has 6 multi-hit games. The 1-0. Fastball fouled off to the right side, out of play. Count even at 1-1 on Clisby, who played his high school ball right here at Monte Vista. Now a New Mexico State Aggie. Be joined by Braden Barnes as well in the Crawdads. Johnson looks in for the sign, now comes set after his tough inning last time. The 1-1. Fastball inside and low. 2-1 on Clisby. Crawdads gave up 6 runs last half inning, but they scored 6 the half inning before. So a lot of offense these past few frames as they trail 11-8. 2-1 at the dish to Clisby. The pitch in there for a strike. Change up on the outer corner from Johnson. It's 2-2. Clisby, a rising sophomore, did not play his freshman season at New Mexico State. His first year with his hometown Crawdads. From the windup, and it's hit on the ground over toward short. A bit of a hop over there for Drake, but he finds it, throws to first in time for out number 1. So 1 out, as that'll bring up Cam Taylor. He's been pretty productive today. 2 RBIs off a sac fly and 2 walks. So he's yet to find a hit, but he's been active in the scorebook. Taylor, lefty hitter against the righty Daryl Johnson. Johnson, a JUCO guy. Cam Taylor, formerly a JUCO guy. 1 out in the inning. Crawdads still trail 11-8 as we're yet to see the offense die down these past few frames. First offering to Taylor, taken high. Fastball around the letters, 1-0. Taylor in the portal out of Eastern Kentucky. Played at Andrew College and Florence Darlington Tech. Darlington Tech, one of the more respected JUCO programs in the country. The 1-0. Fastball in there for a strike, right around the knees. Look good. 1-1. Brady Wilson will be next. He'll hit for the first time for the third baseman, Calvillo. The Crawdads need base runners down 3. Taylor waits. The 1-1 is taken outside. Change up. Just off the plate, 2-1. Taylor getting the start at first today. Normally a DH, also
see him in the outfield, as the outfield playing a bit back on him, respecting his power. From the windup, the 2-1. Johnson fires a ball outside. 3-1 to Cam Taylor as he takes. Taylor, 23 years of age, but still with 2 years left of eligibility. More respected veteran in this Crawdads dugout. So he waits on a 3-1 from Daryl Johnson as he takes a breath and fires a ball inside. Ball 4 as Cam Taylor walks for the 3rd time today. So that'll bring up Brady Wilson for the first time. Talked to Brady pregame. There's a lot of friends on this opposing squad from the Sacramento area where Brady Wilson grew up. So the righty hitter will dig in for the first time today.
Also played on this team last summer, Kasey. Was a Tiger himself. Said he enjoyed the experience. It was pretty fun.
That's right, as he digs in on the right side, trying to get the Crawdads some more traffic on the base paths. They trail 11-8 here in the bottom of the 6th with a man on first and nobody out. First offering, curveball low, taken for a ball to Wilson, 1-0. Wilson, like Joe Coupland, who we just saw on the mound, a two-way guy. Pitches once a week for the Crawdads, and he's been solid on the hill, trying to get some more ABs. With his gray bat, he waves it high. Runner goes, the 1-0 is in the dirt outside the throw. And it trickles just past the second base bag. Taylor in safe. And that's a stolen base for Cam Taylor. So Wilson took that pitch. It'll be 1-0 to him as Cam Taylor beat a pretty good throw that just bounced off the glove of Drake. Johnson looking in for the sign, now coming set. Having to worry about the man on second. He's looking over there. And now fires the 2-0 home. Fastball low and in. 3-0 on Wilson. Yet to see a pitch he likes. No action in the Tigers' bullpen, even though Daryl Johnson has given up plenty of runs so far. They still have the lead. Wilson waits on the 3-0, likely will take all the way. As he does, and it's ball 4. High fastball. Back-to-back walks from Daryl Johnson. Now runners on first and second for Riley Leininger. And we'll get another meeting on the mound. Nobody warming up. Maybe could see a position player step on the hill. But there's nobody in the bullpen to call to. It'll be Riley Leininger and then eventually Nico DeFazio if the inning continues. Daryl Johnson will stay on the mound. Looks to be a little bit rattled, but I'd like him to get through this inning as we're still in the bottom of the 6th. Plenty of baseball left to go. But a 19 combined run mark on the scoreboard between these two sides. Just an offensive showcase. So Leininger digs in. He's yet to reach on a hit. Hit into a fielder's choice last time up. Was credited with an RBI on that piece of hitting as well, as there's 2 on and nobody out for Riley. Lefty hitter against the righty pitcher, Johnson. Johnson comes set. Leininger represents the tying run. First offering low and inside, taken for ball 1, 1-0. Leininger, one of a few Crawdads still in the transfer portal. Started his career at Oklahoma. He's originally from Texas. 2 on, 1-0 at the count. 9 straight balls as he takes again. Fastball in the outer corner, just off the plate. 2-0. And finally, some guys heading to the bullpen for the Tigers. Likely Johnson's final frame if he can get through it. Johnson stares in from the stretch. That one's hit high and deep out to right center. And Christensen will make the catch at the wall. Ranged up at the batter's eye and caught it. Runner will tag from second as Taylor's into third. Wilson still at first, and a nice play from Christensen means there's runners at the corners with 2 outs. So good contact from Leininger, but just couldn't leave the yard. As there's 2 outs for Nico DeFazio. As the Tigers infield goes back to straight away. DeFazio hitting righty. He's been hit by a pitch twice, also grounded out. So he's officially 0 for 1. Johnson has his glove tucked in, now comes set. Righty on righty. The first offering to DeFazio. Breaking ball outside, 1-0 to the man who just committed to Houston Christian. It'll be his second stop at a D1 program, his third stop overall as he played 1 year in JUCO. That's that red bat, the 1-0. Breaking ball outside and in the dirt, 2-0. Johnson still struggling with command, was very fortunate to get the out on Leininger as he just could not find the strike zone. Still 11-8 in favor of the Tigers. Just beat the Santa Barbara Foresters the other day. The 2-0. Hit on the ground softly over towards short. Drake picks it up, and the throw to first. Not in time, says the umpire, as he threw on the run. And an interesting dribbler that legs out a single for Nico DeFazio. So the Crawdads are able to get a run. And they still trail. It's 11-9 now. Is Daryl Johnson still on the hill?
And he's got to be really careful here, Casey. Levitt McGee, who's up now, started his appearance off with a triple against Johnson. He's been really red hot.
Has 2 singles, a triple, and 2 runs scored. Runners on first and second, 2 away. As a gapper could score in 2 and tie the game. First offering to the lefty hitter, McGee, is in there for a strike, 0-1. There's a righty up and warming for the Tigers. Nobody up for the Crawdads. 0-1 at the dish to Levitt McGee. He's 3 for 3, like we said. Started the year off slow, has really increased his power and contact these past few games. 0-1 at the dish. Johnson kicks and fires. Breaking ball inside, taken by Levitt McGee, 1-1. Levitt McGee, a Laney College guy originally, now will play at Cal State Bakersfield. Make the trip down there this upcoming year for his junior season. Waits on the 1-1 from Johnson, who sets and fires. Fastball outside, 2-1. Taken by Levitt McGee, who, out of all the Crawdads, likely has the best discipline. 18 walks on the year. Has that 1 home run that was an inside the Parker at this very ballpark. Came last week. He'd love a extra base knock right now as the Crawdads trail 11-9. Johnson takes a breath, the 2-1. Fastball in there for a strike, 86 miles an hour. 2-2 on Levitt McGee as he digs back into the box with that bright yellow bat. Playing in his second season in the CCL, first with the Crawdads, where he's been pretty much a mainstay in the 9-hole these past few weeks because of that ability to get the walks. The 2-2. Lined foul to the left side, out of play. Count remains the same. Crawdads in this inning walked twice, and then, of course, the single from DeFazio on the infield. Johnson trying to get out of the inning. 2-2 at the dish to Levitt McGee. Takes a practice swing, now readies up. Johnson comes set at his chin and lets it go. The 2-2 just inside. Good take from Levitt McGee. 3-2. Runners will be in motion. So the Crawdads trail by 2. Had 11 hits today allowed, and they've hit 8 themselves. Levitt McGee knows he's in a big spot. Steps out, now he's back in. Johnson in for the sign, now he agrees. Comes set. And the righty hitter brings it down the hill. Both runners go, and Levitt McGee pops it up left side in foul territory. Johnson, the pitcher, chasing it, but it's going to land out of play. And Levitt McGee continues his fine at bat. Count remains 3-2.
Yeah, not a great pitch to hit there. He's able to foul it off, stay alive, and he just sees the ball so well into the plate.
Daryl Johnson, the pitcher, lost his headband, his hat, and his glove. So he's putting all 3 of those back on. for this 3-2 pitch again. Both runners again will take off. Levitt McGee knows the stakes, down 2. See, Reddy's back in. Lefty hitter scaling the middle of the box. Johnson comes set on the third base side. Takes another deep breath. The 3-2. Dribbled on the ground, foul on the right side. To another full count on Casey Levitt McGee, who grew up in San Francisco. Currently hitting .213 on the year, 10 total hits in 15 games. Of course, leads the Crawdads in walks with 18. So he'll receive another payoff pitch momentarily as Johnson looks in for the sign with 2 on, 2 out. And a 3-2 count at the dish to Levitt McGee. Crawdads trail 11-9. The pitch, as both runners go, is outside. That'll load the bases as McGee takes ball 4, and that'll flip the lineup over with the bases loaded. So Wilson to third, DeFazio to second, Levitt McGee now on first as the lineup turns over to Trey Johnson. And a knock to the outfield could tie this game. Crawdads trail 11-9. Trey Johnson today hitless in 4 tries, but he reached on an error and stole a bag in the 5th. He also scored that inning where the Crawdads were able to put up 6 total runs. Lefty hitter against the righty pitcher with the bags juiced and 2 out. First offering from Johnson inside, but he went around. 0-1. Darryl Johnson on the hill. Trey Johnson at the plate. It's an 0-1 count on Trey, originally from Berkeley. Against Darryl Johnson, the right-handed pitcher who scales the third base side. The 0-1, looped foul left side. Count quickly 0-2 on Trey Johnson. Crawdads have already left the bases loaded once. That came back in the 3rd. They'd hate to do it again, down 2. But Johnson will have to protect against his fellow Johnson on the mound. The 0-2, chopped over up the middle. Second baseman Leffel picks it up, and they step on second for the 3rd out of the inning, and the Crawdads leave the bases loaded. So we'll go to the top of the 7th. Crawdads still down 11-9. Welcome back to Danville. This has been a wild game so far. Crawdads trail 11-9. Joe Coupland still on the hill as we start the top of the 7th inning. A lot of runs these past few frames specifically. as the California Tigers with the lead. They've scored in the past 4 innings. Those were all their runs so far. All 11 came in those past 4 frames, including 6 last inning. As Coupland stays on the mound, he'll face Lucas Drake to start things out. Drake hitless so far, reached on a hit by pitch as he lines one to the left side. Foul, but a good catch by someone warming up in the bullpen. So that won't be an out, but that's strike 1. As if we were playing banana ball, that would have been an out.
I was about to say, you're absolutely right, Casey.
Drake digs back in against the righty, the 0-1. Hit sharply on the ground toward third. It goes under the glove of Brady Wilson into left field for a base hit. Wilson tried to make the play. Hard hit ball, likely to be ruled a single. As Drake trots into first, and that's his first hit of the game. So the man now on first, that'll bring up Connor Berkovitz. 2 walks and a single on his day. He scored 3 times. As Coupland will go to the stretch. Joe struggled a bit out of the bullpen. He gave up a home run last inning. And over at first, now pitching in the stretch, righty on righty. As he shows bunt, and Berkovitz gets one down. And the umpire saying it bounced in the batter's box. So it'll be 0-1, and it's a foul ball instead, as seemingly everyone thought it was a fair ball. Berkovitz playing left field today. Trying to extend the lead so far, as the Crawdads struggled so far in this game to keep the lead. They gave up 9 runs in the past 2 innings. Coupland looks in for the sign, and he throws over to first. Oh, 1 count at the dish to Berkovitz. Scored in the 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th. We'll want to do the same here as they cling on to a two-run lead. Coupland dishes a ball outside, 1-1. Coupland from Danville as well, but from San Ramon Valley High School, just down the road. The 1-1. That one slapped opposite field, and it's just foul. 1-2. Crawdads would love to turn 2. Their bats came alive last inning, but they were only able to get 1. So they still trail 11-9. 12 hits so far for the Tigers. A team that's not affiliated with any league, but given some of these CCL teams a run for their money. Berkovitz calls time. 1-2 to him as he readjusts his batting gloves against Coupland. Came in for Joe Salazar, who struggled. The 1-2. Breaking ball. Ring him up. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. 1 away. Coupland records his 2nd strikeout. And the lineup flips over to Chase Christensen, who made a good catch out in center field last inning. Crawdad infield, roughly double play depth as the righty hitter comes in. First offering from Coupland, chopped foul to the left side, 0-1. Christensen had his first hit last inning. He singled and scored in the 6th. 2nd hit of the game. He also singled in the 3rd, reached on an error in the 5th, and struck out. So officially, he's 2 for 4. Crawdads trying to avoid 4 straight losses. Coupland throws over to first again. Although this loss, if they can't come back, would not hurt their standings in the CCL North because it is not a league game. We'll be back in action tomorrow against Menlo Park. The 0-1. Half swing, dribbled over to first. Taylor picks it up, flips to Coupland, and they'll get the out at first. Runner advances to 2nd, and there's 2 away. So a 3-1 ground out brings up Nate Leffel, who has been productive at the dish today. 2 total RBIs off a double and a single. He's also scored twice. 2 for 4 across the board. There's some action Now starting in the Crawdads bullpen, looks like maybe Carson Timothy as he sits back down. But the first offering to Nate Leffel, swing and a miss on the low changeup. 0-1. Drake looming over at second with a short lead. Gooplin at the belt. Now kicks and fires from the stretch. Fouled over toward the on-base circle on the left side. 0-2. Have not had a quick inning here in quite some time. This could be, if Gooplin can get out of this at-bat, one of the quicker ones. We saw limited offense for the first 3 or so frames, but it's been a lot ever since. The 0-2. Line off the glove of Gooplin up the middle. Second baseman Escobar picks it up, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. So finally, no runs in an inning for the Tigers. We'll go to the 7th inning stretch here in Danville. Bottom of the 7th inning here in Danville. Crawdads trail 11-9 as the new pitcher on the hill for the Tigers is Zach Vassell. Big right-hander out of Los Medanos College, has a big leg kick. So he'll face 2-3-4 for the Crawdads, starting with Joey Donnelly. Came in as a pinch hitter in the 4th. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single on his line. Lefty hitter trying to start a rally for the Crawdads. They trail by 2. They scored 1 last inning, but ultimately left the bases loaded. Vassell readies up at the belt. From the windup, he deals to Donnelly, who fouls one straight back. 0-1. Donnelly, respected veteran on the Crawdads. Took a year off from the program last year, head down south to play with the Arroyo Seco Saints. But he's back here in 2025. He's been their best hitter so far. The 0-1. Fastball low and away, taken for a ball. 1-1 on Donnelly. Zach Vassell, the brother of Tino Vassell, who we saw start the game and then was taken out defensively. His 1-1 pitch. Dribbled on the ground over toward first. picked up and flipped to Moulton, and there's one away. And it actually hit the foot of Joey Donnelly, so it'll be 1-2 instead of an out. Donnelly will play his 2025 college ball at Fordham, the all-time winningest NCAA baseball program in terms of wins. The 1-2, fastball taken outside, 2-2. Donnelly said he loves the city of New York and wanted to venture out east because he's played baseball in the Bay Area his entire career. The 2-2, another fastball yanked outside, 3-2. Donnelly started at De La Salle and went to Cal. The only season he didn't play in the Bay Area was with Arroyo Seco. He played with the Crawdads as well. The 3-2, as that one smoked up the middle. The second baseman LaFell picks it up, but he can't make the throw as it's stuck in his glove, and he's frustrated. Donnelly trots into first, and it's an infield single for Joey Donnelly to start the bottom of the 7th.
He's looked good today, Casey. Obviously grounded out in his first at-bat, but since then, 2 straight infield singles over towards second base. LaFell's had trouble on the hard contact.
So Donnelly's aboard as he, like you said, has 2 hits. That'll bring up Ryan Ellis with nobody out. He technically represents the tying run. Crawdads trail by 2, 11-9 here in the bottom of the 7th. Esquivel digs in on the right side. First offering to him. Nearly hits him as he ducks. 1-0.
Look out.
Esquivel comes in for Ryan Ellis, who got aboard 3 times. Trying to create some production here late in this game. 1-0. Fastball high and tight. 2-0 on Esquivel. Esquivel currently in the transfer portal. We mentioned just a few Crawdads still in it after leaving their respective programs, but Esquivel trying to find another program out of St. Mary's. He waits on the 2-0 from Vassell as he stares in and fires the 2-0. Fastball that time in there for a strike. 2-1 taken by Chris at the dish. Esquivel started his career at University of San Diego, where he grew up, playing travel ball down there as well. The 2-1 from Vassell goes outside. 3-1 to Esquivel. Came in for Ryan Ellis, and he stayed over at second. Both guys formerly of St. Mary's. Donnelly over at first. He doesn't have a particularly large lead. The 3-1 hit the other way out to right field in the ballpark for Radler as he ranges to his right and makes the catch. 1 away. So 1 out in the inning for Brandon Clisby. He's 0 for 1 after coming into the game at the catcher spot for Zach Justice. Crawdads need some base runners. They need some hits at this point in the game. They trail 11-9. This game really saw a ton of offense in the middle frames, but the Tigers out in front right now. Clisby, the right-handed hitter, digging in. Trying to increase his on-base streak. Hit on the ground over towards second. LaFell picks it up, throws to second for 1. The throw to first, not in time. It's a fielder's choice as Clisby gets to first, but Donnelly out at second. And there's 2 away for Cam Taylor. Cam Taylor been on base 3 times, all via the walk. Also had a sac fly in the first inning. So he's been busy, but still searching for his first hit and his first at-bat. So he's 0 for 0. Lefty hitter will try to swing for the fences here, likely. Down 2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th and a man on first. Vassell pitches a ball in the dirt, 1-0. Fastball also was outside. Clisby over at first, has some speed. An impressive amount for a catcher. Could be on the move. Crawdads would like to at least get 1 before the innings get too late. Bring this game closer. It's 11-9. The 1-0. Taylor takes a fastball outside, just off the plate. 2-0 on Cam. Native of Georgia originally. He's played baseball in all different parts of the country. Played summer ball last year in Atlanta. The 2-0. Fastball again, but low and outside. 3-0 on Taylor, who could very well walk for a fourth time today. Only time he swung the bat, he drove in a run out to left field off the sac fly on a very deep fly ball that just nearly left the yard, rather. The 3-0 takes all the way. Strike in there on the outside corner. Goes back to the fastball. 3-1 from Vassell. Brady Wilson would be next if the Crawdads can extend the inning. Clisby over at first. Medium lead for him. The 3-1 as it's roped foul to the left side. Out of play. 3-2 on Cam Taylor. Only in his second year in summer ball. He's had an interesting career considering the injuries. Last year with Eastern Kentucky at 115 on a team that really struggled, only winning 11 games out of 55. The payoff pitch as Clisby goes. That one's roped to center field. In is Christensen, and he drops it. Clisby rounding third. He's going to try to score. The relay throw, not in time, and Taylor advances to second. It's a one-run ball game. An E8 officially as Cam Taylor roped that one to Christensen straight to him, and he couldn't make the grab.
I mean, that was just a really well-hit ball. Taylor muscles it straight up the middle, and it's really a tough play for Christensen out there. It's unfortunate that it'll be an error and not a hit for Taylor.
Taylor still hitless on the day officially as Brady Wilson, the righty hitter, digs in with the tying run at second. And good base running there from Clisby as well because he was taking off regardless. 3-2 count with 2 outs. So he was able to score from first as Brady Wilson digs in. He walked in his lone plate appearance as he came in for Calvillo over at third. Cam Taylor at second. The first offering from Vassell in there for a strike. Fastball hard of the plate. 0-1. That's now 6 total errors in the ballgame. 3 apiece. Defense has not been a high point in this game particularly. It's Wilson with his gray bat trying to tie up this ball game and extend the inning. Vassell takes a breath. The righty fires the 0-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-2. Quickly on Brady Wilson. Former California Tiger himself. So I'm talking with some of the opposing players pregame. But they're not his friend right now. He needs a base hit. Down 1 run in the late stages of this game here in the bottom of the 7th. 0-2 at the dish to Brady. With Taylor looming over at second. Vassell steps off upon the 0-2 pitch.
Taylor was kind of dancing, begging him to look over at second.
No effort of a hold on from the shortstop Drake. He's saying, take as big of a lead as you want. The 0-2 to Wilson. Half swing, pitch was outside, called the ball as he held up. 1-2 on Brady Wilson, who will go to the University of the Pacific, play with the Tigers there. Be a second stint with a team called the Tigers. Taylor still looming over at second. Vassell readies up after agreeing to the sign on the 1-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Crawdads trail by 1. Wilson readies the 1-2. Inside fastball taken for ball 2. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's been a messy game defensively and a lot of hits. 21 combined between the two teams. The Tigers have the edge right now in both hits and runs. 11-10 as Wilson shrugs and takes a practice swing. Vassell checks over at second. The 2-2 pitch to Brady Wilson runs inside. Fastball makes him turn out of the way, and an 0-2 count turns into a 3-2 count.
Great discipline from Wilson right here. He's being really patient, waiting for something in the zone.
Wilson played a bit more earlier in the year, at least as a position player. Has pitched more ever since. Trying to come up big for the Crawdads here in this 11-10 game where they trail. The payoff pitch from Vassell as he takes a breath, and the runner goes. Hit on the ground sharply over towards short. Drake picks it up, scoops, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. The Crawdads get one, but that's all. They leave Taylor on second. We'll head to the top of the 8th, 11-10 in favor of the Tigers. Crawdads trail by 1 as we start the top of the 8th inning, 11-10 in favor of the Tigers, as Joe Coupland still on the hill for Walnut Creek. They do have some action in the bullpen, so we'll see if Coupland goes the full frame. Dylan Drake, the shortstop, digs in. He's had a wild day. 6 RBIs, 7 total bases, including a double and a home run. He's been huge for the Tigers today, and big reason they lead 11-10. Lefty hitter, righty pitcher as Coupland dishes a strike. Slider on the outside corner, 0-1. Coupland trying to eat up some innings for the Crawdads. Got out of a jam last time around without giving up anything. The 0-1. Drake takes outside, fastball around the knees, 1-1. Nolan Drake playing over at Sac City College, former teammate of Brady Wilson, the third baseman for the Crawdads. They'll wait on a 1-1 from Coupland, who shrugs and fires the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut. Low in the zone. 1-2 on Dylan Drake. Has a lot of power in his back seat. Able to poke one out to left over the wall as he swings and misses. And he's down on strikes. A good pitch from Joe Coupland, and he sits down Drake on strikes. There's one away.
Yeah, Coupland has really looked good of late, Casey. After the home run, he's really settled down. Only has allowed 1 hit since then. Everything else has been a strikeout or a ground ball.
So that brings in Connor Smith, who just like Drake homered in this game. His homer was a 2-run blast. He's 2 for 4 overall with 2 runs scored. First offering from Coupland, he loses it, and it hits the back of Connor Smith. So it's a free base, as we're no stranger to hit by pitches today. It's yet another. So Smith's aboard with 1 away. And that'll bring up the righty hitter, Alec Nava. He's grounded out twice, reached on an error, and doubled. Man over at first, and Coupland trying to roll a pair and get his guys hitting again. First offering to him, swing and a miss. Might have gotten a piece of it into the glove of Clisby, 0-1. Crawdads have scored 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings to bring this game closer. They once trailed 11-8, and now it's 11-10. So plenty of stuff can change in between now and the end of this game. The 0-1, fastball inside, taken for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nava. who had a big double earlier in the game. Plays his ball over at San Joaquin Delta College, where he hit .367 last year. The 1-1. Off-speed pitch goes outside. 2-1 on Nava. Gouplan trying to reset his command. Looks like Braden Barnes up and warming for the Crawdads in the bullpen right now. Could see him next inning. The 1-1. As that one's looped to shallow right field, down for a base hit, and Joey Donnelly can't field it cleanly. But the runner will hold up at second. First and second with one out here in the top of the 8th inning. So Smith over at second. He was, of course, previously hit by a pitch. And Nava singles. That'll bring up the righty hitter Charlie Malton. Saw him start this game at pitcher. He's since gone 1 for 3. Had an infield single, a ground out, and a strikeout. Trying to give his team some insurance with runners on first and second and one out. Righty on righty as Gouplan looks in and fires from the stretch. That one's roped down the third base line. It's called a foul ball just barely. Sat on the line. Only a two-man crew today. So not a great vantage point for either umpire, but they ruled a foul ball, and it's 0-1.
That's a gift from Gouplan. He hung a breaking ball well into the heart of the plate, and Malton smashed it down the line. I think that sat right on the chalk.
Just a few inches from being a fair ball, and likely a 2-run double if that one's down. Because that corner out and left, far away from where Casey Levitt McGee, the left fielder, is playing. It's 0-1 at the dish. Malton takes a strike, looping breaking ball in the inner half. 0-2 with 2 on and 1 out. The Tigers were not able to put up any runs last inning after putting up runs in 4 straight. That compiled total of 11 runs on 13 hits. They're trying to continue that production here. Gouplan's 0-2 as he fires a fastball outside. 1-2. Malton playing over at first base after starting the game as pitcher and did a pretty solid job for the Tigers before the middle innings kind of got out of hand. But they still lead. The 1-2. Low and outside fastball taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braden Barnes been warming up for these past few innings for the Crawdads. It'll be interesting to see when his name is called, if it's called. As Gouplan has been in for quite a while and has struggled to find the zone consistently. The 2-2 breaking ball in there, strike there called. The throw to first on the back pick, not in time. So Malton is out looking as Gouplan has struck out 2 batters in the inning. As Jimmy Radler will come up with 2 away and 2 on. Both runners starting their leads. Radler today hitless, has a sac fly, but otherwise has not been able to find the grass. First offering from Gouplan to the righty hitter, yanks outside, off-speed pitch, 1-0. This is the kind of game we saw earlier in the year when the Crawdads were scoring a ton of runs and also allowing a ton of runs to teams like Alameda. Games as of late have not been like this. The 1-0, fouled straight back off the glove of Clisby. 1-1. Gouplan looking for strikeout number 5. It's had a mixed day so far after coming in for Joe Salazar, who made his debut for the Crawdads. The 1-1. High pop-up, shallow left field. Levitt McGee charging in, puts the glove up and makes the catch. So they leave 2 on. The Tigers still lead, though, 11-10. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Crawdads trail by 1. Welcome back to Danville. Crawdads in an interesting position. Down 1, it's 11-10, and they've scored runs in the last 2 innings. So they want to continue that with Riley Leininger, Nico DeFazio, and Levitt McGee due up in the inning, 7-8-9 against Zach Vassell, right-hander still on the hill. Leininger digs in on the left side. Came in as a defensive replacement earlier in the game, and he's hitless in 2 tries. First offering to him in there for a strike. Fastball taken around the knees. 0-1. Leininger trying to get some base hits to impress coaches out of the transfer portal. Started at Oklahoma in the SEC. The 0-1, high and away fastball. 1-1 on Riley Leininger, who was the team's everyday third baseman before some newcomers came in, and since seen some time at shortstop and today in right field as well. Normally over at third. The 1-1. That one's floated towards second base. A leaping grab for Drake, and he makes the catch. So the second baseman, Drake, showing off his defense. Shortstop. So there's one away in the inning, and that'll bring up Nico DeFazio. He's had an interesting day. Hit by a pitch twice, singled and grounded out. Single, though, that came 2 innings ago, drove in a run, bringing the Crawdads just a bit closer. Righty hitter digs in. The first offering jammed out to shallow right field, and the second baseman, LaFell, makes a nice basket catch, and there's 2 away. So back-to-back guys retired for Zach Vassell in the inning. And the 9-hole Casey Levitt McGee will dig in. He's been the hottest hitter of the day for Walnut Creek. 3 for 3, pair of singles, a triple, and a walk. So he'll try to extend the inning for the Crawdads here in the bottom of the 8th with only 4 outs remaining for Walnut Creek. They need a run. Vassell comes set at the belt. Now he deals the first pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0 to Levitt McGee. Brought over to the Crawdads from the Alameda Merchants. Stayed with his coach over at Laney College, Dustin Cheney, who coached the Merchants last year. And, of course, coaches the Laney Eagles as well. The 1-0. Half swing, but he didn't go. Pitch inside. 2-0 on Levitt McGee. Braden Barnes warming up in the Crawdads bullpen. Nobody warming up for the Tigers. Although we could see them have someone come in to close the 9th inning. If we get there. The 2-0. Fastball outside. 3-0 on Levitt McGee, who has very nice discipline for the Crawdads this year. 19 total walks. A lot of those walks have come recently for Levitt McGee. He'll likely take here a 3-0 count. And Vassell delivers fastball outside. Ball 4. Levitt McGee heaps the bat on his shoulder, and it's a 4-pitch walk as he trots to first with the lineup flipping over to Trey Johnson.
Levitt McGee, a little bit of an intimidator so far today. He's already got 3 hits, including the triple. Pitcher's scared to throw to him anything in the zone. 2 straight walks.
Yeah, 2 walks for him and now 5 times on base. So that brings up the lefty hitter Trey Johnson, who's hitless today in 5 tries at the leadoff spot. Not providing a whole lot as the first hitter in the lineup. Levitt McGee over at first. The lefty hitter Johnson now in the box. The first offering popped up in foul territory on the left side toward left field, and it'll drop as shortstop Drake, Nava, the third baseman, and Berkowitz all charging toward it, but it lands in foul territory for strike 1.
It's a big break for the Crawdads. Johnson jumped on a pitch he liked, but didn't make great contact. Could have been an out, but they stay alive.
McGee over at first. Could see him take off. Crawdads trail by 1. It's 11-10. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Johnson with a black bat, as well as black batting gloves and a black helmet. Vassell's 0-1, outside. 80-mile-an-hour changeup, 1-1. Johnson mentioned earlier, back in the leadoff spot, but he's played as low as 8 this year in the order. Trying to find a spot for him. Brant Cummings moving him around a bit. Sell fires from the stretch. The 1-1 as the runner goes. A late jump for McGee. The throw was in time, but it bounces off the glove of Drake and trickles into center field as Levin McGee gets a gift there as they can't field it at second. Big hesitation for Levin McGee. Took off well late, but he was able to get in somehow as his jersey now covered in dirt. So he's at second as the pitcher's called the ball at the plate. 2-1 on Johnson. A knock could tie the game for the Crawdads. Johnson trying to get his first hit of the game as he lines one sharply to center field. Christensen right there as he comes in and makes the catch to retire the side. We'll go to the top of the ninth. Crawdads trail 11-10 as they leave a man on second here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Christensen. 2 singles for him today. Reached on an error, grounded out, and struck out in the leadoff spot. Trying to help his guys get some insurance before the bottom of the ninth. The first offering from Barnes. Hit on the ground over to the first base side. Fair ball down the line. Donnelly will have to dig it out of the corner as Christensen chugging towards second. He'll get in there. Ball just sat on the inside of the line fair. And it's a 2-out double for Chase Christensen, his third hit of the game. Crawdads struggling to sit them down in order as Barnes will go to the stretch with Nate Leffel set to hit. He's no stranger to the extra base hit today. Had an RBI double in the third and an RBI single in the sixth. Been on base via the hit twice and reached on a fielder's choice. Lefty on lefty as Leffel digs in. Crawdads trying to get back out to hitting. Barnes delivers a swinging strike in there on the outside corner, 0-1. Barnes agrees to the sign from Clisby, who will be his future teammate at New Mexico State. The 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2 to Leffel as he went on the pitch high and tight. Crawdads will need some magic next inning to come back. They only trail by 1, though. High and away fastball on about 0-2 pitch, taken for a ball, 1-2. Barnes mostly a fastball thrower. Can reach the 90s. The 1-2 from the stretch. As that one's flared out to shallow left. It's going to drop for a base hit. Christensen will come around and score, and it's a big 2-out knock to drive in the runner from second, and they lead 12-10. Tigers won't go away.
Yeah, and Casey, that's a really important insurance hit. Could make it extremely difficult for the Crawdads. Now they have to get 2 runs to tie, 3 to win in the next half inning.
Yeah, it really makes it hard for the Crawdads, who haven't seen much offense since the 7th inning. As that'll bring up Dylan Drake, who homered and doubled, has 6 total RBIs on the day. So he takes the ball outside. 1-0 to him. Runner over at first is Leffel. It's the 1-0. Taken low, fastball around the shins. 2-0. Barnes, the 4th pitcher of the day for the Crawdads. The 2-0. Fastball in there for a strike. Painting the frame on the outside corner. 2-1. Crawdads will be back in action tomorrow on the road. Have not had the ability to get much rest these past few days after going to slow, as Barnes will look toward first and throw there. Runner back in safely. Crawdads have lost 3 league games in a row. This game will not be a mark on their record if they do lose. The 2-1, and that one's flared into left field, down for a base hit. Levin McGee fields it, and the 2-out rally continues. That's 3 consecutive hits after the first 2 outs.
Not as much deception on the fastball today from Barnes. Usually has a lot of movement. It's hard for the hitters to catch up to the two-seamer, but today it seems like he's not moving it as well.
So he allows the double from Christensen. He scored, and then, of course, the back-to-back singles as Liffel is now over at second and Drake is over at first. So that'll bring up Connor Smith. Had a home run himself and a single. Also hit by a pitch, reached on an error and flied out. First offering to him, fouled straight back. 0-1 to the righty hitter. His home run carried its way out to left field and extended the lead at the time. The Crawdads were able to inch back a bit. It's 12-10. The 0-1, another pitch fouled straight back. Quickly 0-2. Smith playing in the catcher spot today. He plays over at Santa Clara in the West Coast Conference. A lot of guys in this league playing in that conference. Crawdads have some of them themselves. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Low fastball got him to go. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Crawdads need to score at least 2. We'll head there now on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Last chance for the Crawdads here in the bottom of the 9th. They trail 12-10 as Zach Vassell stays on the mound for the Tigers. He's going for the save as the right-hander came in 2 innings ago. It'll be 2-3-4 for Walnut Creek, starting with Joey Donnelly. He's been good today at the dish. 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and an RBI. Lefty hitter will dig in, trying to keep the Crawdads alive. They've had 9 hits today and 10 runs, but haven't been able to catch up to the Tigers. 15 total hits, and of course the 12 runs. Lefty hitter Donnelly with his open stance. Vassell delivers a fastball in there for a strike on the outer corner. 0-1 to Joey Donnelly, who, of course, committed to Fordham recently. Been an East Bay baseball player pretty much his whole life. The 0-1. Fastball high, taken by Donnelly, 1-1. Crawdads have a busy schedule ahead of them. We'll have the day off on Thursday. And then when the CCL Showcase comes around next week, they'll have a few days off. But it's been a busy stretch for them. The 1-1 to Donnelly. Looping breaking ball taken outside, 2-1. It's the man there wearing number 4 who spent 4 seasons at Cal. Never was truly a lineup guy there. Saw some action in a few games. The 2-1. Fastball outside, taken by Donnelly, 3-1. And the Crawdads would love a base runner, no matter who it is, to keep this one going. Esquivel hit next, and then Clisby. Donnelly did not start this game. Jared Medham was in the 2 spot, but left the game as the 3-1 is swung on and missed. High and tight fastball, and the count runs full on Joey Donnelly. The man from Danville readjusts his gloves, now stands back in. Vassell looking for the punch out. It's been good ever since he's entered the game. The payoff pitch is chopped up the middle, past the glove of Vassell, and it'll line into center field for a base hit. Donnelly's over in first. And it looks like there's a man down. It's one of the middle infielders. Can't quite make out who it is.
I believe LaFell, he was diving over to get to the hit from Donnelly, who's kind of had his number. He's hit 3 balls that have been LaFell's to field, and he's had trouble with all of them because they're so well hit. Looks like he's a little banged up.
Tough play to defend there because it hit off of the pitcher Vassell. And Donnelly, with some good speed, was able to get into first, and the ball went to the outfield anyways. So it looks like everybody's okay. LaFell able to get back to his second base spot. So that gives Zach Vassell, the right-hander, opportunity to take a quick moment to recollect himself. Now having a pitch from the stretch with the righty hitter, Chris Esquivel, set to come up. He does represent the tying run. Joey Donnelly over at first. Nobody out in the bottom of the 9th. 2-run deficit for the Crawdads. Esquivel, only 1 at-bat for him today. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. Came in for Ryan Ellis over at second base. Infield double play depth. First offering from the stretch. Vassell dishes a ball inside, 1-0. Crawdads have left a lot of runners on base today, including the bases loaded twice. They want to be efficient here in the bottom of the 9th. Esquivel waits. Vassell at the belt. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. Esquivel not a guy that likes to swing the bat early in counts. His discipline has been better lately, and a lot of that has come with him trying to find his pitch, not necessarily hacking at the first 2 or 3.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty good eye for the ball.
A shrug on the mound from Vassell. The 1-1. Fastball in there for a strike, same location. 1-2 on Esquivel. Will now have to protect. Would love to drive something out to the gap. Bring this game just a bit closer. It's 12-10. Nobody out with Donnelly at first. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. Goes back to the heater. That's 3 straight from Vassell. And he gets the K on Esquivel. A big one. And there's 1 away.
Tough pitch. Lost of deception out of the hand of Vassell. Esquivel just stunned.
Yeah, not a ton of velocity from Vassell, but he's been able to locate well. So it'll bring up Brandon Clisby with 1 out and 1 on. Here in the bottom of the 9th, Crawdads trail by 2. As the man at the plate, Clisby, again representing the tying run. He came in a couple innings ago. He's officially 0 for 2. So he swings at the first pitch he sees and drives it to the right center gap. That one will drop for a base hit. Donnelly rounding second. He's going to stop at third. Clisby into second. The throw all the way to third. And just like that, the tying run is at second with Joey Donnelly over at third and just 1 out off the double from Brandon Clisby.
Magnificent piece of hitting from Clisby. Capitalizes on the first pitch he sees. It's high in the zone for a big, tall guy like him, 6'1". He just belts it the other way.
Base hit could tie the game with Cam Taylor coming up. He's had 5 plate appearances, but 0 at-bats. Or excuse me, 1 at-bat. So he reached on an error in the 7th. So he's 0 for 1. As that, we have a meeting on the mound with Zach Vassell, who's trying to get the save, but is in danger of blowing it here. As runners on second and third and just 1 out.
Yeah, Taylor, huge spot for him. Got to be staying focused. You don't need to go for it all right here. Don't have to lift one out of the field, even though, you know, it's tough to do so with the wind. Just put bat to the ball. A hard hit line drive does it in all likelihood. At least ties it and gives them the opportunity to do it again in another at-bat.
After Taylor would be Wilson. So the Crawdads trying to extend this game and get back on the horse after losing 3 straight games. Cam Taylor talking with the home plate umpire, Cameron Jones. And then standing in now in a big spot, Taylor 0 for 1. 3 walks today and a sacrifice fly. Also reached on an error. Donnelly at third, Clisby at second. The first offering from Vassell runs inside. 1-0. Vassell losing a bit of his command after pretty dominant showing these past 2 innings, only giving up 1 run. He'd hate to lose his chance to get the save here. Taylor with his red arm sleeve waits on the 1-0 with 2 on, both on second and third. Pitch in there for a strike. Good fastball in the outside corner. 1-1. Vassell relieved Daryl Johnson, who struggled for the Tigers. It's been a different showing ever since. The 1-1 as Taylor slaps one on the ground over towards second. LaFell picks it up, throws to first as Donnelly comes in to score. And there's 2 away and a 12-11 ball game now.
A productive out for Cam Taylor. You know, not the worst result in the world. You bring it to within 1. Would have liked to get aboard and try to score Clisby, but that'll work.
So Clisby moves to third. 2 outs in the inning for Brady Wilson, who's the last chance for the Crawdads. They trail by 1. Base hit would tie the game. 2 outs, so that's really what they need right now. Wilson, the righty hitter, takes a ball inside, fastball in on the knees, 1-0. Vassell signaling to his catcher, Smith. Maybe trying to craft something up here as he toes the first base side of the rubber. Clisby looming over at third with a short lead. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. 86-mile-an-hour heater on the outside corner, 1-1. Wilson today came in for Cam Calvillo. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. Crawdads have gotten 1 in this inning, but they need 1 more at least. 1-1. Half swing from Wilson. He went around. Pitch on the outside corner. 1-2. And the Tigers 1 strike away from stunning the Crawdads here in Danville. Clisby over at third. Wilson at the dish. Vassell on the hill. Righty on righty. 1-2 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th in a 12-11 ball game. Wilson waits the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and that's the ball game. Outside corner, 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball, and the whirlwind of a matchup finally concludes 12-11 as Vassell earns the save in this wild game. The Crawdads have now lost 4 straight games. Of course, this one will not count against their tally. They'll be back in action tomorrow on the road against Menlo Park. In a tough game for the Crawdads overall. They thought they maybe could come back. They had that big 6-run inning. And again, just a tough showing here in Danville.
Yeah, but at least the bats got going, Casey. I think that's the important thing in a non-conference game like this. Got a bunch of really tough opponents. This week you're playing Menlo once, Sonoma twice, then you're playing Alameda again. All 3 vying for the top spot in the CCL North. So with a 3-run showing in 2 games this weekend in San Luis Obispo, this is what the Crawdads needed. Get the bats hot and go into these next couple of games with a bit of momentum, even though they didn't get the win.
Tough showing for Crawdads pitchers. The losing pitcher, Joe Salazar, made his debut and gave up a handful of runs in a hefty game to come in for. Obviously, Max Cohen started the game well for the Crawdads, but that'll just about end things as we'll say goodnight here on this Monday evening here in Danville. Crawdads fall 12-11 to the Tigers. Kasey Kazliner, Charlie Limoncelli on the call. We thank you again. We'll be back in Menlo tomorrow as the Crawdads look to right the ship against the Legends.